And when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get in line and do right.
All right, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, welcome, 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 everyone. We are live with the book study, Fall of America, by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, chapter 13 through 15. And I am with my awesome co-host, Sister Queen Mayat. Peace and blessings, Queen. How are you?
Peace and blessings. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm okay.
All right, all right. So we are on chapter 13, the Fall of America. Evil spreading far and wide. All right. So we are fired up and ready to go when you're ready to go.
Yep. So the Fall of America, chapter 13, evil spreading far and wide. We're doing 13, 14, and 15 tonight. And so I'm just very grateful and thankful to be here. Anyone that comes in, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And I will start by reading paragraph number 1. Never since the creation of Adam and Eve have there been such chaotic times as we are witnessing today, with the worst yet to come. There is no peace among the nations of the earth. The only people who enjoy peace of mind and contentment in this day and time are the elect of God, though they are persecuted from city to city and falsely accused and denied the credit due them because of their righteousness in the midst of the wicked who have ruled the world. By no means can the righteous be represented for their righteous sake by the evil doers of the world. God is despised and rejected. Evil is accepted and honored. Justice stands afar off, and equity cannot come in, says the prophet Isaiah in the Bible. The Holy Quran warns us to fear a day when evil is spread far and wide in the days of God's presence at the end of the satanic world to bring it to naught. Allah causes the evil world to be upset, since they have been the enemies of peace and the haters and destroyers of the righteous, who would have brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy, meaning the prophets. But they rejected all. Jesus charged them with being the murderers of the righteous of Abel to Zechariah. We can very well add more and say from Abel to Muhammad. Today, America professes to be today, America professes to be the most Christianized country on our planet. But actually, she is not. For Christian means to be crystallized into one. Spiritually, that one refers to the Christ. Christ means the one who is coming at the end of the world of the wicked as a crusher. His name actually means one who is anointed to crush the wicked. The real satanic people are the white race, who have disguised themselves to deceive the black people to follow them. They just use the name Christian, which means to be Christ-like. They have set up a head for their religion in Rome, Italy, with the Pope or Father who represents himself as being the intercessor or vice regent, meaning one who is second only to Christ our God and intercedes for the people's sins and recognition of God. But he has no divine backing. This false regime should be destroyed by the Christ, the crusher of the wicked, the great Mahdi of Islam. These are the days of God's or Christ's presence to destroy this evil world with all the deceptions that the people should again label under a wicked and merciless ruler, the devil. The presence of Allah has upset the devils who have had and exercised total control over the world under falsehood and have made evil to appear fair seeming. The so-called Christian world has never before displayed such madness as they do today. Since they cannot hide their real wickedness and deceitful ways, they're angry. According to the preaching and teaching of Christianity, they prophesy that they alone would be the happy group that would welcome the coming of the Messiah, the Christ, or the Mahdi. But the Bible condemns them, that they were angry and sought to hide their faces from God. It should be clear, stop, It should be clear to you today that Christian America does not want such preaching as entire submission to the will of Allah. The Christians hate the very names of God, such as Muhammad, Omar, Kareem, Ali, Hassan, which are attributes of God. The Jesus prophesied that they would hate you for his name's sake, for having one of his names, because the names of God are to live forever. No other people on earth have the names of God but the Muslims. So the coming of the just one makes manifest to you this evil race of sinners, and they will be against his presence, be angered because of him, and will seek to destroy him and his messenger as it is prophesied.
Mm-mm-mm. You know that starting off with the chaos of this world and the chaotic way that the world is right now, where things was at one time solid and thought to be unmovable, are now those things are no longer solid. It's such liquid like water. The world stage is in chaos. The home front is in chaos. And notice how he said that even when the presence of Adam and Eve, when they came, that they brought chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that when it's talking about Adam and Eve being made, that wasn't us. That was the making of the white man. And in their making came so much chaos. And that's how they came into this world. And they're going out of this world with so much chaos. This is a very chaotic time that we are in. You got so many wars going on right now that it's shameful. It's shameful. And when you look to see who's at the starting point, or who's the one that's mixing in and making decides to fight, is white folk.
Mm-hmm.
They're right there in it, in this chaotic time. And you know, even when he said that the white people don't want you to have the name of God, do you remember when this couple in Tennessee, they were going to child support? The mother was taking the daddy to court over child support. The white woman judge, the baby's name was Messiah. The white woman judge got offended that a nigger child is going to have the name Messiah. So she ordered the parents to change the name, that they were not allowed to name their child Messiah. And she put it in the order and told them, you better go ahead and get it done.
Mm.
Now, thankfully, they went to the media and exposed it, and the judge got in trouble. But if they would have kept quiet, their asses would have either changed it or been in jail. That is the highest height from when you're sitting down and you naming you're naming your child. This is something you have a right to do. But when you come across that enemy, then that enemy gets offended and tell you you're going to change that name or your ass is going to jail. It's like when my oldest son was born and I was in the military, and the white lady asked me, what's his name? And I said, Rasul. And she said, Russell? I said, no, Rasul. It means the messenger of God. She looked and turned red. She said, when he gets older, he's going to hate you. He's going to cuss you for naming him such. I said, bitch, if you don't get the fuck out my face, you better. The fuck you talking to? You know? The hell you had the nerve to tell me some shit like that.
Wow.
You know, because in their mind, nigga, who you think you gonna name your child a good name like that? Please. And especially if it ain't a God that I told you that you can worship. See, and this is why we have to be able to speak straight words to these demons.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be able to speak straight words, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Fight them, and you will win. You will win. That judge thought that that mother and father was going to back down and not push it. But when they took it to the media and everybody got the whiff of it, and they said, "Oh no, we ain't having this. We not having this." And that was a sign that our people are waking up, because a lot of black people in Tennessee start jumping up and saying, "Hey, we're not going for that." And just as today, when we look at our brother who was charged for stabbing that cracker, and his GoFundMe raised more money than both of the white people GoFundMe for that same for their child.
Mm-hmm.
So that this is another sign that our people are waking up and starting to get active.
They said that the parents reached, somebody was telling me today that the parents reached their goal on GoFundMe, and when they reached it, they increased it. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me today. I'm not sure. I did not investigate. I just took it at face value. And also, there was some information coming out that one platform that was allowing donations for Carmelo, they cut it off, so they had to change platforms.
Now
I'm
I
not,
know
mhm.
I heard that platform, that white people were pressuring the platform to stop, and the platform had said, just like we raised money for Kyle Rittenhouse, and people was upset about it. Y'all can be upset, but this is what we're here for. This is the people's right, because he's innocent until proven guilty. That was the last thing that I heard, but I didn't hear that they had actually stopped them. I know they were trying to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's interesting.
And so with this situation with Carmelo, white Americans, they will respond violently, and they
Oh,
don't give a damn who they grab. There's going to be some deaths. We're going to see some black people hanging from trees, because
mhm,
that's just the way they operate. And that's the same thing I told people with the Alabama brawl situation. I
mhm,
said, black people are celebrating, but y'all have to understand that somewhere a black man and a black woman is going to be murdered, because
mhm,
that's what white people do.
mhm,
One of our children, one of our black men, women, and children we're gonna lose some soldiers.
mhm,
And you would think that our people would be on high alert, and we are not. We still
mhm.
going to clubs, we still going to parties, we still letting our children walk home from school alone. And
Yeah.
this is really a time to, get more ammunition, get more weapons. People learn self-defense, keep our eyes wide open, because white America, they're gonna come. They're gonna come with the heat. Trust and believe.
Mhm,
But there's something that I wanted to show you,
mhm,
and when it talks about like what does being a Christian mean to white people? They
mhm,
don't give a damn about the spiritual side. They don't care about the religious side. In my opinion, when I study white America, they fall behind the cross for political reasons, because there's nothing holy about them, nothing whatsoever. And they just, everywhere they go is a problem. They are a world problem, and they're very disgusting individuals. When you look at the history behind these people and who they are some of the most disgusting people that have gone all over the world with their perverted culture, imposing it on native and indigenous people. And they want to penalize you if you don't get in line with their program. But I
mhm.
want to show you how disgusting they are, and this is going to be really quick. Before I do, let me go here. No, I'm gonna just show you here, and I'll show you a picture of him later.
Mhm.
So, this is from a book called African. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a PDF file, and it's from a book that I have. This is from one of my master teachers. His name is Ashaka Musa Barashango. Now, of course, that's not his government name, but that is the name. He changed his name to one more African, and it's Ashaka Musa Shango. The book is called African People and European Holidays, a Mental Genocide, and this is book 1. Now, I'm reading from page, I'm going to start on page 10, and I think I'm going to go to page 13. I'm going to try to do it quick because I don't want us to be here 3 hours, but I want to show you what life was like in the Plymouth colony when these rattlesnakes washed ashore. And I'm going to start here where it says the mental state of the pilgrims. Now, we're talking about the pilgrims now. In public school education, you will find the pilgrims in just about every elementary and middle and high school, which is secondary textbook. If you don't learn nothing else, you're going to learn about Christopher Columbus. You're going to learn about the Pilgrims because that's where you have your Mayflower Compact, and you're going to learn about goddamn George Washington. Do you agree with that?
Exactly.
Now, this is the mental state of the Pilgrims, and this is what is written. It says, 44 of the Pilgrim Fathers died in their first winter in America, and Governor Bradford said of the survivors, scarce 50 remained, and of these were only 6 or 7 sound persons. George Thorpe, a highly educated colonist, thought, however, that despondency was the real cause. He said in 1621, more do die here of the disease of the mind than the body. Now, it says at their first Thanksgiving celebration in 1621, there were only 6 or 7 sane people left in the whole Pilgrim colony. Do you remember from your public school education how many pilgrims came to America? Do you remember that number?
No, ma'am.
About 100, okay?
Okay.
So now by the first Thanksgiving, you only had 6 or 7 sane people left, okay? Because it said 44 died the first winter. So you only got about 50 left. That's scarce. And of those 50, 6 to 7 are sane. Okay. The rest were mentally deranged. In other words, putting it into modern everyday language, the bulk of them were just plain crazy. Ashaka Musa Shango goes on to write Pilgrim cannibalism. Because now when you look in public education and they talk about the pilgrims, they say the pilgrims came here for what reason? Do you remember?
I believe it was to establish their religion or something like that.
Religious freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, they came to America so they could practice their religion freely. They went to the Netherlands first, where the laws were more loose, but they said, you know what, if we stay here, even though the laws are not as tight as they are in our home, we're going to lose our culture, we're going to lose our language. This is not what we want for our children. That is what they teach people in public education. But as I read this to you, my understanding is they didn't give a fuck about no religious freedom. Because watch this. Pilgrim cannibalism. Captain John Smith from 1580 to 1631 wrote this. Remember, John Smith, he was let out of prison to come to America. He's the one that brought tobacco seeds. He was not supposed to have them, but he had them. So he's the one that saved Jamestown with tobacco. And it says this. This is what he wrote. So great was our famine that a savage we slew and buried. The poorer sort took him up again and ate him. And so did divers ones another, boiled and stewed with herbs. And one amongst the rest did kill his wife, powdered her, and had eaten part of her. Now, Neil E.D. quotes the Virginia Assembly of 1623 in his complaint against Governor Thomas Smythe. One man killed his wife to eat, for which he was burned. Many fed on corpse. Other instances of eating corpse and killing Indians and eating them occurred as late as 1846. This is significant because one great charge against Negroes was that their ancestors were cannibals. Let me just finish this. He said, we note that the word savage as applied by John Smith in reference to the Indian is a terminology profusely used by the European in response to the red man and other people so blessed with melanin that the life-giving energies of the sun's rays can bathe them in beautiful colors. Yet the form of cannibalism demonstrated by these pious, civilized pilgrims after they had settled on the red man's land in North America was not necessarily a first for them. As late as the 16th century in England, the eating, do you hear me? The eating of human flesh and the drinking of blood from human skulls was still a common practice among many of Europe's starving masses. Now, those starving masses of people were the ones that was being sent to America. Remember, they were sending their poor and destitute to America. The pilgrims as drunks and sodomites. Even the early pilgrims of New England, though very pious or were forced to appear so, were not all the hard working, very desirable characters we have been led to believe. Governor Bradford, writing in 1642 of the severity of the punishments in his colony, said, and yet all this could not suppress the breaking out of sundry notorious sin, especially drunkenness, uncleanliness, not only incontinence between persons unmarried, for which many, both men and women, have been punished, sharply some married persons, but that which is even worse, sodomy. Nevertheless, Mayflower ancestry is still considered the highest in the United States. So who really were these pilgrims? Who really were these pilgrims? They were drunk. They were insane. They were digging up bodies from the ground, eating them, eating their wives, eating their children, sodomizing one another. They were bisexual, murderers, and thieves. So what is Christianity to the white man that he would want to impose it on us and then call us savage and animals and beasts, and that we have no rights that they ought to respect when they are disgusting? And this is the governor of the Plymouth colony writing this. They brought this to the shores of America. This is what they brought to the shores of America. To bury a savage and eat him with herbs, eat your wife, eat your children, sodomizing, bestiality, bisexuality, drunkenness, insanity.
Damn. Now, is that the same John Smith that was with Pocahontas?
She married John Rolfe. Yeah, John Smith. He came to America on a ship, and he was let out of prison. The only people that were supposed to have tobacco seeds were the Spanish, but somehow he got them in his pocket, brought them to America, and planted them because the Jamestown settlers, they came looking for gold and found none. He had no interest in gold. His gold was going to be in the form of tobacco. And so the Jamestown settlers, they were so busy looking for gold that they were not planting. And they were starving to death because they had a severe a severe drought. So, he told the people, look, if you don't work, you're not going to eat, because they were going out on trading expeditions. They were robbing those Native American villages. So John Smith, and he died, if I'm not mistaken, he got into an accident when he died. He never really, realized the fruit of his labor, but tobacco is what saved Jamestown. But no, she married John Rolfe. And the story that they sell us about her falling on John, sparing his life when her father was going to bash his ass in the head, that's a goddamn lie. I have some historical documents to show that she was kidnapped and brutally raped several times by them white men. Oh, she was brutally raped by several white men. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So these are the this is their version of Christianity, because when they came to the shores of America, this is what they brought with them. So what does it really mean to be a Christian? Right. Because we got it from them.
Right.
We learned Christianity from these savage beasts. So what does it really mean? Because they don't practice none of that shit they asked us to to abide by.
They sure don't.
They don't.
Nope.
They don't give a damn about none of that 10 commandment shit. Thou shalt not.
Mm-mm.
Thou shalt not kill, but you come and you kill.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not steal, but you come to America and you steal.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not have sex with your neighbor's wife and all that, but that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
Everything it says not to do, that's exactly what they do.
Exactly.
And they sold us a different version of it, and we fell for a hook, line, and sinker. And try to be the best goddamn Christians that we can be when the very people that brought that shit to the shores of America were homosexuals,
Mm-hmm.
bloodthirsty cannibals.
Mm-hmm.
You will never see that in the public textbook.
Mm-hmm.
Never will you see that in the textbook. And then you got our children drawing images of pilgrims and coloring pilgrims and doing plays about pilgrims and honoring pilgrims and thinking that they are, something magnificent according to American history. And they were murdering people that look just like me and you, digging up our bodies and eating them, drinking our blood. That's a nasty, filthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at the serial killer list, the mass majority of them are what ethnicity?
White folks.
Because that's in their nature.
Exactly.
And I rest my case on that.
Exactly. That reminded me of something Sister Ellie shared with me that's going on now over in the UK. And I want to share it. Let me see. So it's not that long, but because see, I had said, I think I said it on Sunday, or I said it on one of the programs. I said these are the same no good dirty bastards as they were 6,000 years ago. And here you just told us what they did when they got here to America. And that was not taught to us in school. They never said that these motherfuckers was cannibals and digging up the dead and killing their fucking wives so they can eat them. They never told us none of that.
You never heard that before, even until now?
I heard that they were eating each other, but I never heard that they would kill each other on purpose so that they could eat. I never heard that. And I never heard that they were digging up the people that was already buried and bringing them so that they can eat them. I didn't hear that. I just heard that they turned cannibal and started eating those that were dying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I heard it. I didn't hear it the way you just gave it. That was totally new information because it shows a even deeper level of depravity.
Yeah.
And, really, it's, as you said, it is in their nature. It is what they do. And so for us to be around that, to be willfully around that shit gonna rub off on you.
What happens when you go traveling with these? Remember when they were on the plane and the plane crashed?
Yeah, they ate their ass.
They would eat. Yep.
Yeah, they ate their ass.
Ain't nothing too low for them.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is too low for these people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We'll watch this video really quick. And like I said, this is going on in the UK right now.
What happened here is sickening. Monstrous crimes by a drug-addicted paedophile ring who got away with it for so long. And no one knows why. The depths of human depravity. The bunch who organised nights to rape children in a filthy den full of heroin known as the Beastie House, where a girl was put in a microwave, where abusers laughed and filmed as youngsters were molested and money was exchanged. This is a city horrified and one with serious questions. The 7-year campaign of violence began in 2012. Children were seen in the streets, malnourished and gaunt, visited regularly by social workers, and eventually, in 2018, placed on the Child Protection Register. And yet, the beatings and rapes continued. Police tracking the case 2 years later. We've spent months in this community, and understandably, very few people are willing to talk about what happened. But I think there is one man who knew the victims, and I think he's going to speak to us. We have to protect his identity. We spoke on the phone, and he told Sky News he had concerns long before police got involved.
Seen him on a regular basis, every week. I kind of noticed things were wrong in 2018. One of the hair was a bit messy with head lice, and because he was the same age as my child, I said, "Why won't you do your hair?" That's when she went quiet, and she started talking a bit more adulty for a child her age. I'm seeing it from her point of view now that she has left them on her head to try and keep these beasts away from her. The head lice were protecting her from them.
He tells me he later spoke to detectives and is concerned the abuse went unchecked for 7 years.
They were always lingering around adults to try and get food. They were scavenging around for food. It was heartbreaking. I'm scarred with it. Scarred. The system has failed.
An independent learning review is now underway, examining those failures.
The challenge for them is how effectively we implement.
Now, there's no fucking review needed. This girl was walking around with head lice, using that as a way to protect her from being raped by men. Can you just fucking imagine the caucasity of all of that bullshit? These nasty motherfuckers, and this shit was happening in the public right in front of their face. And they paid it no mind. Why? Because it's in their nature. It's what they do. This is what they do. This is who they are. So them going eating people, them raping children, then damn girl got to walk around with head lice, try to keep her protected from being raped. And they see the damn nasty beast with the head lice and say, why don't you do your hair? Why don't you take care of your hair? And that's it. And that's it. These nasty motherfuckers is really who they are. This is their nature. This you don't want to be equal to this. This is not your equal. This could never be your equal. And we have to be able to accept that truth. And don't fucking complain about it. Because that is what it is. This is who they are. Now, it's on you. It's on you now that you know exactly who these nasty demons are. You still want to be equal to that? You want to love on that? Shit. Crazy as all get out. Ain't no way. And the nerve. Just think about it. This cracker sitting over there in Rome as the quote-unquote Pope, who's supposed to be God's man on earth. The cracker? With all the evil they have done. That's God's man on earth? And all the evil that them demons do? And you want to look at that devilish looking cracker, that satanic cracker, and you want to kiss his ring? You want to bow to that? Ain't no way in the world. You should have your head examined if you gonna bow and kiss his ring. Ain't no damn way. When you look at them, you should see Satan. That's who you should see. I know the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told the Minister Farrakhan when he went to go see Huey Newton, and he got searched by Huey Newton, and the messenger said, What the hell you go over there bowing to that new agenda for? He said, I'm next to God and you're next to me. You don't go bow down to none of that. And here the Pope trying to be the messenger. Please. Ain't no way. You better not bow down to them. You better not. That's your enemy. That's your most deadliest enemy. They don't have no love for you. Hell, they don't even have no like for you. Only thing they got for you is a trick, a smile, and death.
Mm-hmm.
Stored up for you. I rest.
They like I said, they hide behind religion.
Yes.
And it's just a bunch of poppycock.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very disgusting people when you boil it down to know who they are historically and what they have introduced to our community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ashaka Musa Barashaka goes on to say, we didn't know anything about no sodomy. We didn't know about homosexuality and bestiality and bisexuality. And we didn't know anything about that.
That's right.
And it was an introduction to us.
Mm. Mm.
You know, it's this is chapter 14. Every nation has a term. And you know what I was thinking when it comes to the Catholic Church, how they like the fathers or I get the priests, you know, because now they're changing with this celibacy thing. But when I was growing up, they were taking vows of celibacy, and I always said that it was just their way for us to not expect them to be with a woman. And it kind of made it easier for them to engage with each other, because we do see a lot of their priests that are coming out now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of their nuns are homosexual nuns, and they get pregnant and have abortions just like general population. They find all kind of dead babies in the back of those churches. And those, like, with, I remember when I went to St. Augustine, they have a castle, Castillo de San Marco.
Mm-hmm.
Castillo de San Marco was built by the Spanish in Florida, and it's still standing there today. You can go visit, you can walk around the castle and everything. They have historical pictures of the Indians that were prisoners there. Chief Osceola was murdered there. They cut off his head, and it was just a lot going on. And so the United States government, their idea of dealing with the native population was complete extermination. Nathaniel Bacon wanted to completely annihilate them. Andrew Jackson wanted to completely annihilate them. Like, they just literally wanted to wipe them the fuck off the face of the earth. And so his one of their generals, I think his name is James Pratt. I don't know I forgot his first name, but I know his last name is Pratt, Pratt. And he was in the United States military. He said, wait a minute, exterminate them? That's just savage. He said, why don't you all assimilate them? And so the United States government, they deliberated and they made a decision, instead of exterminating the Native American people, that they had to assimilate to European culture. And their children were sent to Indian school. Not only were the children sent to Indian schools, but the adults were too. They had to shave their heads. They had to stop wearing their cultural attire. They had to learn English. They had to acknowledge Christianity, you know, the customs, the traditions of, you know, Western civilization, in order to be saved. And something about the children, if the children were heard speaking their native tongue, they would cut off fingers.
What?
Yes, they would cut off the fingers. And I do have a lot of these pictures in my phone. I was taking pictures while I was there. They gave Native Americans a notebook and some markers and told them to draw. And the images that they drew of white men when they arrived at their tribal lands to forcefully remove them, the savagery, I was fucked up in the head. I couldn't even go to my next historical site. I was doing like a Florida historical tour.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stop. That castle was my last stop because it was so brutal. Because some of them at this when they were asked to draw, they could not speak the language, but visual images really gives you a lot of information as to what was going on. And they were just completely brutal and demonic to these people, the things that they did.
Mm.
One of the most memorable things I remember about that castle is that I went to the top of the castle and I sat down. And as you look out to the ocean, you can see where the conquistador ships came into the mainland. And I cried my ass off because I actually stood on the castle and I could see from a Native American perspective, hundreds of years ago, the very inlet that these rattlesnakes entered to put their foot on North American soil. And I wept. I weep like a dog because ever since they put foot on this soil, it's been going downhill ever since. The murder and destruction, but yet, like Elijah Muhammad said, y'all talking about you Christian? What is a Christian? Because based upon what I understand, it's a savage, murderous, perverted, evil, disgusting person. Because that's who brought it here. And I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. I'm just saying what I know historically to be true. I would never associate myself with that religion. I don't want nothing to do with it. So, chapter 4, every nation has a term. And every nation has a term. Hold on. I'm sorry. And every nation has a term. So when its term comes, they cannot remain behind the least while, nor can they precede it. There was a term for the people of Noah, Lot, and Moses. This also holds true in the life and death of individuals. All is under the control of Almighty Allah, especially when a divine beginning and ending has been appointed for the accomplishment of a certain work that must be done by the life or the life of peoples. The above chapter and verse of the Holy Quran is a warning to the present nation whose term is now coming to an end. If we know what is said to us and what is written by the prophets for us to read, study, and ponder over, and if we understand, we should not fall victims to misunderstanding and belief. The problem with the black man in America is that he is heedless of the truth. He was reared by slave foster parents who were his enemy. They caused him to become heedless. It was the intention of the enemy to make the black man an enemy to the truth as he himself was and is. This, the enemy was successful in doing. For the Aboriginal black man in America is referred to as being what? Blind, deaf, dumb, in many instances as dead. This is the work of the enemy. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us and restore us to life. That mental, right? The children of the fathers, those slave masters who took our life, our mentality, our intellect, are working just as faithfully as their fathers did. However, since 100 years have elapsed from the time of their slave fathers, the children are wiser and educated more in methods to keep the Aboriginal black man in America blind, deaf, and dumb. In the days of servitude, slavery of our grandparents, the white slave master did not give them good food. Today, you can buy good food if you have the money. However, much of it is what? Poison, got chemicals, artificial flavors, sweeteners, cardboard, right?
That's right.
Byproducts. A lot of that shit that's in our food is a byproduct. Let me
Yeah.
tell you how wicked these people are. You have like when they're processing food, there are certain things that come from that processing method that's supposed to go in the trash can. It's supposed to be discarded of. But instead of throwing it away, they take it and find another use for it. Because they want to profit off of everything. Everything is profitable to these people. They don't give a damn if it's good for you or not. I was talking to my coworker today, and she walked by me with like a large beverage, and it was clear as it was orange, but it was clear. And when you're drinking natural juice, it's going to be a little bit thick, right?
Right.
Unless you're drinking maybe a leaf, because I make my I like to make my own tea. My tea is the bomb. And so I saw her drinking this big, extra large, clear orange beverage. And she was like, I'm looking for a garbage can to throw it away. I said, girl, you might as well drink it because God knows you probably paid $10 for that shit. She goes, no, my lunch was only $5. I said, what did you buy for $5? She said, this is from McDonald's. I got this large beverage, a quarter pounder, and a French fry. I said, bitch, you had cardboard. I said, bitch, you had goddamn cardboard and plastic. Before I knew it, I mean, I say, bitch, you had cardboard and plastic. There ain't no goddamn way you had no real beef, real potatoes, and real goddamn juice with a bag, a napkin, a wrapper, some goddamn ketchup for $5 fucking. Food don't work. Real food is expensive.
Right.
And there is no way you got no beef, a bun, lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle, whatever the fuck they put on a quarter pounder with some goddamn real potatoes and some fucking juice for $5. I say, you don't even know what you ate. And we know for a fact that McDonald's food, and not just McDonald's food, but a lot of food manufacturers use plastic and glue. When people eat chicken nuggets, when you think you're eating chicken breast, you don't know what you're eating. It's all kind of glue in that food that has full of carcinogens. We don't know what we're eating, all kind of ingredients that we cannot even pronounce. We don't know. Trash is our food. And he say much of the food that we eat, it is poison. How can you sell me a beverage that's sweet, but you say it contains no sugar? I'll wait. It's no honey, it's no sugar, it's no stevia, but you taste it and it's sweet. That is the fecal matter of a bacteria. They have learned to take the fecal matter from bacteria and turn it into a goddamn sweetener. That's when people be drinking that shit, that low calorie, no calorie shit, that Crystal Light shit. You ever see that Crystal Light shit that people drink? That shit that's garbage. That's trash. You can't even transport soda in its natural state. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
You cannot, all that Coke and Pepsi and shit, when it's traveling, before they dilute it, that shit is extremely explosive.
What?
And that, some people use soda on their goddamn car battery.
Exactly. That Coca-Cola, yeah.
On a goddamn car battery, and that's going inside of our bodies.
Yeah.
People don't know what they're eating. Let me tell you something. I'm going to just say this. Elijah Muhammad's spirit is very much alive and well. I don't know nothing about no master will. I ain't convinced on that. But I know the master teacher's spirit is alive. And I'm going to tell you why. It's so much supernatural shit that's been happening to me ever since we've been reading this book. I know that's the master. I know that's the master. Something popped up on YouTube today. I was going to give you the video so we could watch it, but it's 8 minutes long. I say, God damn, I said, look at you, Elijah. I said, look at you. Just popping up in my feed. And the video I made the other day, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, and all of a sudden I hear this voice said, if hamburger is made out of beef, why they call it hamburger? Because ham is what?
Pork.
So why the fuck we call it hamburger? If it's supposed to be beef, why the fuck do we say ham?
Right.
Ham is pork.
Exactly.
That question popped up in my mind damn near 6 o'clock in the morning when I opened my eyes. I just opened my eyes, and all of a sudden this voice asked me that question. I said, well, shit, I don't know. I said, well, that's a good ass question. And I fell out laughing. I say, that's you, Elijah. Now, if I tell somebody that, they're going to say I'm crazy. But they don't understand that energy cannot be what?
Killed.
You can't kill it. Ain't nobody on this earth that could make me believe that was not the spirit of Elijah Muhammad that came to me at 6 o'clock in the morning and asked me that question for a reason. And I know for a fact that the Chinese and the United States government have learned how to soak pork. They soak, S-O-A-K. They soak pork in beef extract, and y'all think y'all eating beef, but you're really eating pork. That's online, and you can go find it out.
Good Lord.
Where in the fuck they getting all these cows from, and they only have one per year? That cows have one per year. A pig can have up to damn near 36. So where you gonna get most of your goddamn money from? The pig.
Yep.
This shit is poison. The slave master would offer a piece of fried chicken and a biscuit with a little butter on it to a so-called Negro as an inducement for him to teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to. To the other slaves on Sunday morning, I give you some goddamn fried chicken and a biscuit. They doing the same thing today.
That's right.
The slaves did not have the theology of the scriptures as he made him. The slaves did not have the theology of the scriptures, and he made his other brothers spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. I'll give you some fried chicken and some biscuits if you teach this. Don't talk politics. Don't teach history.
Come on now.
Don't open the people's eyes. Make sure they say deaf, dumb, and blind. Just teach them about Noah and the goddamn ark and the rainbow and shit, and tell the same stories every goddamn Sunday over and over and over and over and over a fucking again. And we'll give you some fried chicken and goddamn biscuits. That is what they were doing in Rome. When Rome personified Jesus, and they made it official, and they was killing the Gnostics who had the knowledge, who knew that Jesus was not a real individual. They told the people, they gave them the information they wanted them to teach the people. Teach this. This is what we want you to teach. And if you teach this, we'll give you some tangibles. We'll make you a mega pastor, right? They said, look, we will set you, we will set you apart from the people. You sit in the front, the people sit in the back, and we'll protect you from the heretics. It's the same thing today. Talk bad about somebody in the church.
Yeah.
You don't even have to pay no goddamn taxes. And we'll make you a fucking celebrity. Do you know where that ideology comes from? Rome. That's where the mega pastors come from. That's why the pastors think that he can't walk in the midst of the regular people and general population. That's why the motherfuckers don't pay no taxes. That's the fried chicken and goddamn biscuits. But it's keeping our people deaf, dumb, and blind. How many times you got to go to church on Sunday to hear the same shit over and over again? I don't give a fuck about no Jonah and no goddamn well. I'm sick of here. I can't do it. But you get your chicken and your biscuits though, and we'll protect you. Don't worry about not having to pay taxes is very enticing.
Right.
And they get rich as long as they don't open up the eyes of the people. I'll rest. Go ahead and jump in the ring.
That is so true. That is so true. And, going back to where the messenger says that they made the black man to be an enemy to truth. They made the black man to be an enemy to truth. Well, we can go back to the movie Django when Stephen and Django first laid eyes on each other. And they were going back and forth. And Calvin called Stephen over and he said, Stephen, this is Django. And he's something booger just like you. And then he pulled him close and says, y'all two ought to hate each other. Why should you hate each other? Two both strong, wordy black men, y'all two should hate each other. Because Stephen was to serve his master. Django was to kill the master. And see, just as us with the truth, we're not here to save white folk. We're here to bring you the truth so that you can be raised to a living perpendicular. But the enemy knows that it is this truth that will pull the clothes right off of. As Dr. Collins said, it will make you lift up the dress of the Pope and see their shame. That's why they never teach that shit that we just heard tonight in no school. Because then you see them as they are. When I was going to school, I thought Abraham Lincoln was a bad man. Oh, man, shit, he saved black folk. He loved black folk. Shit. That cracker didn't give a damn about us.
Facts.
He didn't give a shit about us. He's trying to save his union. And he said, if I have to have a preference, I would prefer for the white to be over the black. So he wasn't our friend. He wasn't no lover of us. But they don't want to teach you the real truth so you can see them as they are. Then when you see them as they are, you know that they no good, loaded, low down, dirty bastards. The same dirty bastards today as they were over 6,000 years ago. That's why I'm trying to close down the museum so you don't have to see, and people don't have to see what was done. Act like it should never even happen. We're going to rewrite history and write that shit right on out the books. Because it don't put us in a favorable light. Nah, nigga, because your shit is open. We see the emperor has no fucking clothes. You're not holy. You're not righteous. You're the very opposite of that. Very opposite of that. Because your world is coming to an end. Your world is coming to an end. And that's why we have to give a strong message, and you have to take a strong message, because you ain't got no time to be weak. You ain't got no time. Well, in the Bible, it talks about, I think it was Paul, and he said that they prophesy in part, that they see darkly. Well, wait a minute. If you're supposed to be the follower of Jesus, but yet you can only prophesy in part, you don't see in the light of the sun, you see darkly, then you ain't got something. You missing something.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. And you should be asking, well, why is that? There's so many issues with that damnable religion, but you never say, why is that? It don't make sense. You say this in one part, the next part, you say something different. Why? Because it's a poison book.
Mm-hmm.
It is a poison book. But you gotta see with the power of the sun, you gotta see everything as it is. Everything as it is. And that's just an actual fact. Because whether you realize it or not, your life is on the line according by what you can see, according by what you can discern. And I guarantee you, if you looking in a dark hole, you ain't gonna see nothing except your own and be yourself. Accept your own and be yourself. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was 1000% correct on what he taught. 1000%. And he ain't go no Harvard. He ain't go no Yale. He ain't go no Radcliffe. He wasn't made by them. He wasn't made by them. He was made by God himself. Take it or leave it alone. But you better follow the day. You better get that understanding today, or you may not be here tomorrow. And that's an actual fact. Follow that enemy if you want. You're going to follow him straight to your death because he's taking you right to hell right with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an actual fact. I rest.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen right quick. This is our brother, Ashaka Musa Shango. This is the cover of the book, African People and European Holidays, A Mental Genocide, Book 1. If you can see it on the screen, let me know.
Yep, we can see it.
And I want to show you something. If you could take a good look at the cover, I'm going to try to get the cover as big as I possibly can. And you see a black man and you see a black woman. And in the very center, tell me, what do you see? What is he showing us is a part of our mental genocide?
I see heads, but I can't make out exactly what they are.
Okay, you see Santa Claus, a pumpkin for Halloween, Easter bunny, a heart for Valentine's Day, a television. You see Uncle Sam. Just a lot of things that and there's a cross at the very top. If you look to the very top, like that sun at the top, like a disc around the head, you see a cross at the very top. So these are the things that our brother are telling us is a part of our mental genocide. But I also, because I'm learning how to do this, I want to show you. I want to show you something else right quick, and then we'll go so we don't be here all night. On my Chrome tab. Okay. So the lazy pilgrims steal from the Indians. And it says, I guess it's coming up on your screen now.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, so lazy. Now, not only did they come to America allegedly, because I don't think they came seeking religious freedom. I think they came seeking a better way to be a robber, a thief, a homosexual, a perverted, demon and devil. But that's just the story that they want to sell our children, right? But lazy pilgrims steal from the Indians. The Indian to whom hospitality was a creed, okay? Hospitality was a creed. That's what Christopher Columbus said when he first came to America. Do not forget that Isabella was a devout Christian. One of the things that Isabella wanted Columbus to do, among other things, was to convert the people. Wherever he went, he was to claim the land for Spain, right? He was also to convert the native people. And so I hate when my mind does that, but the Indian to whom hospitality was Columbus said that they were very friendly. When Columbus came in contact with these native people, he said they are so friendly. They're so kind. They're so generous. They're very giving. Oh my gosh. They're so nice. They're beautiful people. But he immediately began to rape them. Did you know that Columbus was part of the child sex slave trade?
No.
He
No.
was selling children to the Spanish, because when they went out to explore, they would be gone for months, and they were raping children as younger than 9 years old, and they were raping them women brutally. But remember now, part of what Isabella sent him out to do was to convert the native people to Catholicism. So the Indian to whom hospitality was a creed welcomed the whites at first, but soon found that they had but one idea: loot. Okay, so they were welcoming these white people to America, but they had to find out quickly, damn, they come here to steal. The damn pilgrims. One of the first acts of the Pilgrim Fathers on touching American soil was to steal corn. Okay, from them. These savages, as they call them, had no rights that a Christian European was bound to respect. Had the pilgrims touched some European shore and seen their baskets of corn, wouldn't they have considered that theft? Later, they were to capture Indians and sell them as slaves in the West Indies. This is the people who our children are taught came to America seeking religious freedom and thanking them for the First Amendment, where we have what? Freedom of religion. But look at who they are. Look at their character. Look what they brought here and left here. The legacy that was brought and left here. I just wanted to share that.
Now, I want to go back to what you said. You said that hospitality is a creed.
That to the Indian, hospitality was a creed. They were very hospitable people.
Okay, gotcha.
They were extremely hospitable people. Very nice and kind and giving and welcoming. And they had to find out the hard way who this Christian European white man and woman was. They were digging up graves. Literally, grave diggers. They would go, they were starving to death, and they would go to the villages and ask natives for food. And if they said no, they would shoot them, kill them, and burn down the villages and take whatever they wanted. Now, mind you, now these sodomites were not even bathing. Can you imagine the stench of these people?
Oh boy.
Who we give so much, people give them so much credit for the foundation of this nation, but they were demons and real demons and devils. You can't be thought of as a human being to dig somebody out of a grave and put seasonings on them and eat them. And go back and have a homosexual orgy. And you not even bathing? Can you imagine what these people look like, smelt like, look like? But that is not what, and that's why I say we're very, people are limited in public education. You can't teach this in school.
Right.
You lose your job. And it goes back why we have to have our own, because You can't send your child into a public school and expect them to see the enemy for who he is.
Right.
You have to show the child what the enemy looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And let them know this is why we separate you from these people.
Mm-hmm.
For your own safety, because we know what they have the capacity to do.
Mm-hmm.
They are very suppressed individuals. How do I know that they're suppressed? Their behavior is suppressed. When you let them unleash their imagination, you get horror films.
Mm.
Tell me I'm fucking lying.
Mm. Mm.
When you allow a white person to unleash their imagination, you get Michael Myers. You get Nightmare on Elm Street. You get Carrie. Okay?
Mm.
You get Scary Movie.
Mm-hmm.
You get Hostel. Remember the movie Hostile when they were showing us how in Europe they were kidnapping them goddamn children
That's right.
and having sex with them, keeping them drugged up?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what they do. You can go to Europe right now and have sex with an orangutan.
Mm. Mm.
They dress orangutans up in lipstick and dresses, and they people pay to have sex with monkeys and dogs.
Mm.
Right now in Europe.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
The stuff that they do behind closed doors, and then they go to work in their Mercedes Benz and suits, and on the stock market, and CEOs of corporations, and the shit that they do behind closed doors,
Mm-hmm.
that's not even human.
Exactly.
And call everybody else savage.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Mm.
So get the book, people. African People, European Holidays, A Mental Genocide, Ashaka Musa Shango. Get the book. He has a lot of books. I have all of his books on my shelf. They are very eye-opening with citations that you can go and do further reading and be amazed at the information that our brother has provided. He has studied at the feet of Dr. John Henrik Clark. He has been to Egypt, Kemet several times. He is a master teacher, and his work is very eye-opening. And hopefully, you all, we will add his work to our libraries and have our children sit down and read it because it's extremely fascinating.
Mm. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
So, yeah, some of this stuff leave you speechless.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm.
Okay, so you had something to say? Want me to go ahead and continue reading?
Now you can continue.
All right, so the same goes for the preachers today. The same goes for the preachers of today. As you can see, they preach for a reward from both white and black. I've tried them for many years. They are as their fathers were. They desire the exaltation of the white man. They want him to give them better positions, and they will offer to cut off the heads of their black brothers if it will please master. Although I live in a neighborhood with white neighbors, I do so for the purpose of proving that I can live in their neighborhood just as cleanly and noiselessly as they do. White people do not like you to come into their neighborhood, jumping on them and licking them in the mouth like a puppy. Now,
Mm.
what's the master talking about right here?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, because where he lived at in Chicago, that was a rich white neighborhood, and so the messenger moved in there to to tell his people that we don't be afraid to them. Let them come to my house and say, "You better move, nigga. You better get out of here, nigga." And I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna show you what the proper response is. And you guys, as it is, none of them came knocking at his door. Ain't none of them came out there burning no cross on his door. Ain't none of them came out there and said a goddamn thing. He said when he walk out his house, he see white folk. And he say, and they be, how you doing, Mr. Muhammad? How you doing, Mr. Muhammad? He said, I keep on walking, I don't say nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
They ain't burn no damn cross on his lawn, huh?
No.
Like they did Martin.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. They better know and recognize, and they did know, and they did recognize, and they motherfucking bowed their head when the messenger come. Just that simple. They bowed their fucking head. Okay. Even when Barack Obama was president, the FOI and the Secret Service damn near about to get it on and start fighting. Start fighting right out there because we're not gonna move our post for nobody. For nobody. Secret Service had to back the fuck up, or they gonna fuck around and find out. And you see them motherfuckers back the fuck up. They sure did. They backed the fuck up because we wasn't. We wasn't. We will whoop your ass out here. Trust and believe.
Wow.
Trust and believe. Ain't no fucking changing because damn president. Fuck him.
Right.
Nigga, y'all better go. We been here. Y'all better go because we ain't moving nowhere. Shut that shit down. Sure did. Shut that shit right down. And when it was reported in the news, everybody looking like, damn, FOI shut the Secret Service down? You damn fucking right. This is who we are. This is who we are. We don't fucking run. You don't run. We will make you run. Simple as that. Simple as that. And that's power. That's power. And they don't want you to know that power. They don't want you to have access to that power. They want you to continue being old like Mr. Porkchop, boot-licking Negro that's always begging, Massa, can I do, Massa, can I do, and ready to kill your own to make them happy. Damn shame. Be such a sycophant. Ain't no way in the world.
What you called them?
A sycophant.
What is a sycophant?
A sycophant.
Sycophant? What's that?
Always bowing down and worshiping them, trying to make them pleased and trying to make them happy, even at your own detriment.
A sycophant. Never heard of it before.
Yep.
And then you see where the master says it's a sycophant is likely a sycophant, which means it's probably a misspelling of sycophant, but it says a servile, self-seeking flatterer or a person who behaves in a servile way in order to gain favor.
Exactly. Yep.
And then you see where Elijah Muhammad, a bootlicker. This person is a yes man.
Exactly.
And we have I'm telling you, ooh, man, okay, so I ain't gonna get into that part, maybe another day, but the master teachers say licking them in the mouth like a dog. This is who our people, a lot of our people want to be like. They want to be like people who let dogs lick them in the mouth. That's a dog.
Yep. Yep.
People who don't bathe.
Yes.
Who are prone to lice. They don't even season their food properly. Their skin can't even sit in the sun too long. Even, do you know that the sunscreen that white people wear when they go to the beach is destroying the coral reef, and thereby it's going to someday destroy the oceans, which could destroy all humanity?
Really?
Do your research and you will see that in some places they're trying to outlaw sunscreen. Don't even bring that shit over here, because when they get in the water, it's destroying coral reefs. They're not supposed to be in places with full sun. Why? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a black person put on sunscreen?
No.
Me either.
I've never seen.
I've never seen a black person put on sunscreen, because we have natural sunscreen. We have it naturally because we are children of the sun. Our skin is sun protection.
Exactly.
We don't need it. And we want to be like people who can't even sit in the sun for a few minutes without literally. My daughter went into the forest with her white friend,
Mm-hmm.
and they got lost for 5 hours.
Mm.
And I never forget when she came out of the forest, the first thing she did was call me. And you know how you always tell your children, do this, do that, take your compass, she won't take it. She go up into the mountains, take your gun, she don't take it. She go up into the goddamn bear preservation forest, take the goddamn bear spray. This child don't take it. So
Mm.
she gets her ass lost up in the forest for 4-5 hours. She gets out, the first person she calls is me. She sends me a picture of her white friend. His motherfucking skin was falling off. It was
Oh my
peeling from his body.
Oh.
And that's only about 5 hours.
Ugh.
She literally sent me the pictures of his goddamn skin boiling and falling off. And the first thing my daughter said, I am so glad I'm not white.
Mm.
Because when I say he was baked and had to go to the hospital, he couldn't take it. But they let you tell it. They belong. Their home is the Middle East. That's what God set aside for them.
Right.
And they got the highest goddamn rates of cancer over there because they don't fucking belong in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just dumb shit.
Exactly.
Just dumb shit that we have access to this information, but we too busy doing dumb shit that we're not putting the pieces of the puzzle together. How do you get some of the highest rates of cancer in the Middle East, but you say God set this shit aside for you? God don't even fucking love you. That when you stand your ass in the sun, that shit bake and burn you like some goddamn brownies and chocolate chip cookies.
Exactly.
They hate the sun, you know, and you know another reason why they hate the sun. That's why they made Jesus a person, because they know they don't. The white people in the sun, they don't agree. So how can the sun be my God and I can't even stand in that motherfucker for too long?
Exactly.
How can I venerate a sun that burned me in a few hours?
Exactly.
Burn my goddamn skin off and give me cancer where I can't even survive. Fuck that. Jesus is a real person, because we can't go with this SUN shit, because that is completely against our very DNA and nature. But we can go with this SON shit because it could be whatever the fuck we want it to be. And that's why we could be sodomites. That's why we can, push LGBTQ. That's why we can kill, steal, and destroy. Because we don't have anybody, no higher power to hold us accountable. Not in our book. We do what the fuck we want. See, that's the dumb shit that I'm saying with this Christian dumb shit. And we want to stay deaf. We want to stay dumb. We want to stay blind. We don't want to wake up and see stuff for what it really is. They use it to control. They don't give a damn about spirituality. They don't.
Nope, they sure don't.
They don't care about righteousness. They don't care about peace. They don't care.
Nope.
As long as they're in control. So, he said, yeah, they don't want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend when he is not in the presence of members of his society. They do not like you coming into the block, beating your wife or girlfriend and drinking in front of their houses. No decent and intelligent person likes this, whether he is white as snow or black as the ace of spades. You can go to the jungle and the pygmy will not want this. Late at night, he and a gang of monkeys will come out and beat you up. The American so-called Negro has been made out of himself and kind by the white Americans. He must now be reformed. In fact, God has promised him a new body. The Bible and the Holy Quran teach us that we will be a new people altogether. He was destroyed and acts ignorant and foolish. He's not aware of his ignorant actions because he has become a part of the ignorance. Now, the end of the term, which was set for the white race, has come. The average so-called Negro, the lost found member of the black nation, does not know that this is the end of the world of the white man, which is his rule over the black nation. He would not listen to one of his own kind who tells or teaches him of the time and doom of the world that we have known. They offer high, listen, they'll offer you a high position and money, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the so-called Negro intellectual politicians who will work against the good of the Black American people. They will accept such gratuity, for they have been deprived of love for self and kind. What so they care about millions who are sprawled in the mud of civilization? They are content as long as they eat the buttered biscuit and the fried chicken as their slave fathers did. Oprah,
Mm-hmm.
Al Sharpton,
Mm-hmm.
Gayle King.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was little watching Oprah, I said, how in the hell do they hate me but love her?
Mm.
How is it that white America hates me, but they love her and both of us are Black?
Mm.
Money.
Mm-hmm.
They love Black people with money.
Mm-hmm.
Because Oprah can go inside their houses. I can't.
Right.
Let her become broke and see what happens.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, she has a nerve. She has one of her ranches she has. And as you pulling up, and the name of the ranch is the promised land. And it's like, oh wow, you little selfish Negro. You think God just made the promised land just for you? But yeah, that's what she got on the name of her ranch, the promised land. Yeah, right.
Remember when Oprah first got started? She used to have her show was fashioned after what's his name? The white man, Jerry Springer.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She used to have shows about Black women having sex with this person and that person and this delinquent and this depraved Black female. When Oprah first started her show, I remember that her shows would make Black women look like shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she got her rise to fame. And when she got her listening audience and her numbers increased, she changed the subject to pander to white women.
Mm-hmm.
Then she became so compassionate and giving, but
Mm-hmm.
she did it on the shoulders of Black women. There's another man, he's a YouTuber on the African network. I don't know his name. And I let him know how I would write in his comments, I remember you. And I
Mm-hmm.
would tell him, I remember you. I remember when you were a new YouTuber calling Black women raccoons.
Oh wow.
He will call us. He is on the network with Vicky Diller and some other people, and they go on YouTube and they give news and that's going on in the Black community all across the world, right?
Right.
But the brother is married to a white woman.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know who I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know his name, but I told him, I said, I remember you. And I remember how you used to talk shit about Black women and call us names and put us down and call us raccoons and have little pictures of us looking like goddamn animals. I say, nigga, I remember you. So he came at me with like it was some type of letter and shit from an attorney. I say, fuck you and your attorney, bitch. I remember what the fuck I remember. How the fuck you gonna intimidate me, bitch? And I said what the fuck I remember. Bitch, I'm here. Bitch, my IP address ain't hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gonna just scare me from saying, oh, I don't remember. Motherfucker, I said I remember what the fuck you did.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
And you know you did. And if I could dig that shit up, I would. Because there's so many Black people. They got millions of followers. And this nigga done went and married a goddamn snow bunny.
Sure did.
He
Look at
talking
the
Black but sleeping white.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want shit to do with black women. He don't want shit to do with black men. Because he go to his house and go to his room and get in his bed and take off his clothes and put his penis inside of a goddamn white woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's his fried chicken and butter biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know that they come from a family of perverts and cannibals who we know would take. How many times have you read that when they went out to war, the crusaders, remember those so-called holy crusaders, is nothing was holy about them.
Mm-hmm.
And the Greco-Romans that would take little boys out there with them when they went to war.
Mm-hmm.
You so desperate. They so desperate to engage with one another sexually that you going out to war that you would take little boys with you because they don't get pregnant. Our African brothers ain't do no shit like that.
Exactly.
They be like, babe, I get back when I get back, if I get back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So let me hit this thing right now before I go.
Mm-hmm.
But we ain't finna bring no little boys with us because they don't get pregnant.
Exactly.
But that is the mind of the white man. They right now in the military want to dress in dresses. They want to put on dresses and makeup.
Say that. That's right.
You mean to tell me you already know you want to be on the front line, but you want to put on the dress, pantyhose, and goddamn mascara? Who the fuck does that on the battlefield? And what did Trump say? Your services are what?
No longer needed.
No longer needed, bitch. Bye, bitch.
Yeah.
Because your mind fucked up.
Exactly.
He can't have you out there. Because there ain't no telling what you would do.
Yeah.
And this is who we want to follow. This is who we want to be like. These are the people who we celebrate their holidays and their cultural traditions, and we want to speak their language, perfect English. Maurice, I hate when niggas got a problem with my Geechee Gullah Ebonic talk. And sometimes I do it just to piss people off.
Right.
Because you're not going to tell me about no goddamn speak perfect English. Bitch, I ain't never been to England.
Right.
How the fuck I'm going to speak something perfect? And bitch, I'm not even that. I'm doing the best I fucking can. And as long as you can understand me, that's good enough for me. Because there's nothing perfect about anything that they introduce to us. And sometimes I say, how can I even pray how can I even pray to the God of my ancestors in English? You ever thought about that? If I did want to pray, how do I do that in English?
Right.
A bastard ass language.
Right.
That was forced on my goddamn people. And if you don't speak it, bitch, we'll cut your tongue out. And you want me to speak some shit perfect after somebody down the line had their motherfucking tongue cut out to appease y'all white ass?
Right.
Bitch, I speak it how I want to speak it. And I don't give a fuck how they feel about it. Sometimes my God choose. I be like, let me get some of them potatoes. They be like, Ma, it ain't no potato, it's potato. Who the fuck say potato? I don't want no damn potatoes. I want some potatoes. God damn it.
I know that's right.
I don't want no goddamn potatoes. I want some potatoes.
Exactly.
Anyway, where we at? God damn, I hate these people. If we really knew who they were.
Right.
He said you would not think that they would hire themselves out to be stool pigeons. White man's bootlickers and Uncle Toms in these modern times of advanced education, but they're doing just that. They do not want the praise and exaltation of God in their own black people. They want it from the slave master's children. The slave master's children will give it to them as long as they what? Reject themselves and kind and worship and exalt white people. You ever thought about why all the goddamn angels white?
Mm,
Every fucking time you see an angel, it's white.
right. Mm-hmm.
Where they get that concept from?
Mm,
Ma'at. The first concept of a personification of an individual with wings, that was Ma'at.
mm,
But when the white man came into Kemet and saw Ma'at, they could not understand why they should venerate a black woman. So they changed a black deity, a black female deity, to a white male deity today called an angel. And that is why when we see angels, they always white.
mm-hmm.
Because they don't give a fuck about the woman.
That's right.
Look at the Ankh, right? Look at the Ankh. And then look at the cross. What's missing? The womb.
Mm-hmm.
The womb is missing. The feminine aspect is missing. And all these white people give you is the father and the son. Because the older men love having sex with young boys.
Mm-hmm.
They did it then, they do it now.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no goddamn way. I want to be like these people, live next to these people, hold hands with these people. Because I understand the nature of these people.
Mm-hmm.
They're disgusting.
That's right.
The white man is very clever in making a public fool of the black man.
Mm.
They show the brown, yellow, and red man what a good job they have done on the black man in America and throughout the earth. He is doing what nature bids him to do. And I don't blame the white man anymore for making fools of our people. It is the nature of the white man to make a fool of our people. But it is not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us.
That's right.
But you have been given the knowledge of yourself, the nature in which God created you, and you still allow the enemy to make a fool of you.
Mm.
And you do not have the sympathy of God and the righteous, not after knowledge.
Mm. Mm.
Knowledge has come. And if you still gonna let these motherfuckers make a fool out of you, that's on you.
Mm.
You still want to get your ass up and go to church every Sunday to hear the same shit over and over and over again, give 2-3 offers and your tithe and offerings, that's on you.
Mm.
You still want to practice their holidays, acknowledge their holidays, and give your money, and you can't pay your bills, that's on you.
You know, that part reminds me of Muhammad Ali. And did you know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad took his name from it? He took Muhammad Ali's name, and he eventually gave it back. But Muhammad Ali, as we all seen, suffered from Parkinson's disease. When he got his title taken, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him, well, don't worry about it. Just go out and preach the word. Well, he wanted to get back in the boxing ring. And the messenger told him, leave it alone. Go preach the word. You don't need no boxing ring. Same thing he told Minister Farrakhan. Put your music away and preach the word. Muhammad Ali disobeyed and went out there to get back into the boxing world. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad beat him up in the paper and stripped his name from him. And, it went on for a while. Then Muhammad Ali apologized. Messenger gave him back his name. But he told him, you're not going to be successful, brother. You out there in the white man beating up on your other brothers for the pleasure of the enemy, when you should be raising your brothers and sisters with the power of the word of God. But because Muhammad Ali chose to go that route, then he lost his ability to even speak. He lost his ability to speak in such a way that he used to speak to that would draw people. And now, because of his disobedience, he lost that very ability to go out and speak. He lost his ability to have his composure. Did you know that they put him in a movie and he was playing like the Messiah? And he got all the black people to come out and they were following him to freedom. And he got everybody in the movie killed.
Damn.
Now here is a man that the messenger put out before the world, gave him a holy name, and everybody was attracted to him. He taught him what to say. The Viet Cong ain't never called me nigga. You called me nigga. I ain't got no fight with them. My fight with you. And here he is, for the pleasure of the cracker, to go out and play in these type of movies, that you leading your people to freedom and get every one of them killed. And you go play a role like that? No wonder you went out the way you did. Disobedience ain't gonna get you nothing but trouble.
I didn't know that. That's deep. Now you teaching.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, you teaching right now.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And when it came to Minister Farrakhan to get out of the mosque or leave that music alone, he got up from the table. He said he only took 3 steps and he realized I can do without music, but I can't do without the messenger. And now when we look at Minister Farrakhan all the way up in his 90s, he's still on scene. Telling you right there what obedience to God gets you and what disobedience gets you. The messenger was right on point. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And we will be dutiful to hear and obey. Use your talents to awaken your people. That's how you use your talent, to awaken your people. Because if not, you'll lose your talent and you'll lose your life. And that's real. Those examples are set right before your face. Choose life. Choose life. And look here, this is what we're doing. We're telling you, choose life. Choose it. Don't let the cracker keep you in death. That ain't the way to be. Choose life. I rest.
You know, I can't look at a white person too long without gagging. I'm serious. I can't look at him too long because I start gagging. I remember I was walking down the beach one day. I don't know where I was, somewhere in America. And you know, I was thick. You know, when I had that body, baby, still got it. I still got it. It's kind of like it needs to tighten up, baby. I always had body, got it. Baby, I'm walking on the beach somewhere in the United States of America, having fun with my best friend, and all these white men was like, "Damn, sexy chocolate," and I was just looking at them like, "You could never."
I know that's right.
You could never. In my worst moment, not you. I can't look at them too long because it's something about them. And I remember this guy. He was he was a professional basketball player. I'm not gonna call his name because I don't want to get him in trouble. And we were talking one day, and he just burst out and said, he was like, because oh my God, he said he hates playing with them because they smell like dogs. Now this is a professional basketball player who confided in me that he doesn't even like when they touch him on the court. Their sweat smells like dog, and they smell like some type of sulfur on the inside.
Ooh.
Now, you know that just give more validation that they're not like us, right?
Exactly.
That they're
Exactly.
genetically modified.
Exactly.
Because that's not normal.
Exactly.
A black person may smell whatever like funk or ass, but dog,
Mm-mm.
we don't smell like dog when we sweat.
Mm-mm.
Because that ain't even in our DNA.
Exactly. Mm-mm.
So when we dig down that rabbit hole and we start peeling back the layers and going to those primary resources and looking in those journals and diaries that they have, let me tell you something, it's so much information out there from colonial America giving us information in regards to what these people were doing and how they were living.
Mm. Mm.
They don't want you to go deep
No, they don't.
to see these people for who they are.
Mm-mm.
Because I swear to God, our children would run and
Yeah.
would not even want to sit next to these people.
Mm-hmm.
So where we at? Where are we?
We are on
By making a fool of the people. He said, yeah. We on verse 21, paragraph 21. The divine term that was given to the white race to allow them to make a fool of the black man and rule him with tricks is not up. He said this shit is up. The devil with his tricks must be what? Removed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He was given the chance to deceive you with his technology.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, God will not hinder the devil from tricking you if he can. This is written in Holy Quran chapter 7. But God promised what? Hellfire to
That's right.
both the devil and his followers, whom he can get from the black nation. And I'm telling you, a lot of our people are going to die. A lot of our people are going to die. They just, it's inevitable. Our people are going to die because they have been tricked into thinking that right is wrong and wrong is right. And I always tell people that death is not always physical. We have to understand that. People think that death is always physical. It is not. You can die spiritually.
That's
You
right.
can die financially. You can die emotionally. Death is all around us. It's literally all around us. Let me ask you a question before I go on. I want you to imagine the ocean. And I want you to now shift your brain and think of a fishbowl. If you were a fish, where would you rather be? In the ocean or a fishbowl? And tell me why.
In the ocean, because I can go anywhere. I'm not limited. In the fishbowl, I can only go in that bowl, just in a little circle. I can't go nowhere. I'm trapped. I'm not free.
So when people have a fishbowl, how do the fish eat?
The people got to feed the fish.
So you're telling me that the fish only eats what is given to him or her?
In that fishbowl, yep.
And that's the difference between spirituality and religion.
Mm.
Religion is a fishbowl.
Mm.
And the only thing you have access to is what's given to you. You swimming round and round and round the same goddamn small ass fishbowl day in and day out, seeing the same shit 365 days, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But think about fish in the ocean. There is limitless.
It's limitless.
They still finding species in the ocean to this day that they don't know nothing about.
That's right.
And that's what spirituality is all about. You never know what you're going to find. You never know what you're going to be exposed to. There's no limit to the information that you have available. And that's why I say I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, because all religion is man-made. I don't have time for it. But if I had to choose a religion out of Christianity and Islam, it will be Islam for the simple fact I'm going to defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
I had to break up 2 fights on my job yesterday.
Mm.
I put my goddamn elbow so far in that lady neck. I swear I ain't tell you. I put my goddamn elbow so far in that lady neck, and everybody was looking at me like, oh my God. Because I don't show that side of myself.
Right.
But don't fuck with me and don't fuck with mine.
Right.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Because I wasted no time at all. And I don't think we're going to have them problems no more.
I know that's right. Mm-hmm.
You see?
Exactly. Yeah.
But if I had to choose, and so, people just got to really be afraid of dropping this religious foolishness because they being force fed and giving you what they want you to have and only exposing to you what they like. People putting their goddamn fishbowl what they like, what they want to see, what the fuck they think you want to eat. When you have another alternative that's limitless.
That's right.
And they want to compartmentalize our people and put you in confined restraints and tell you this is the world. When it's something much greater and much bigger. But Elijah Muhammad said God has promised hell fire to both the devil and his followers. All those people out there that follow behind the devil with those Christmas trees, hellfire.
Yeah.
They following behind the devil with them goddamn Easter bunnies and Easter eggs, hellfire.
Yeah.
You following behind the devil with them goddamn Valentine's Day hearts and shit, dressed all in red, bitch, hellfire. You gotta wait for the cracker to tell you what day to tell your fucking mother you love her. Hellfire.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue down. Fireworks on July 4th. Hellfire. And then they look at people like me that have completely separated myself, and I'm a problem. Because I don't want to participate in this mental genocide.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to jump into the pit in the fire with their ass. My friend pressured her boyfriend. He didn't have any money to buy the kids any Christmas gifts. She said, nigga, you better find it.
Oh, wow.
She pressured his ass into them goddamn Christmas gifts, and he went and robbed somebody, and now he's serving a goddamn life sentence.
Oh, my God.
To acknowledge a fucking one day out the year that have nothing to do with our spiritual, intellectual, emotional elevation. Hellfire. The nigga ain't never getting out. We're dying. We're dying. A lot of us ain't gonna make it. And Elijah Muhammad said this. He said we gotta blame ourselves.
Yeah.
At some point, we gotta stop blaming the enemy and blame ourselves. He say you lust for his half-nude women and thirst for whiskey and beer. Malcolm said they used to come over the train tracks at night to have sex with them white women.
That's right.
Them white women used to come across them goddamn train tracks and have, and you know what? In that, what I can't say Malcolm said, but it was in his book. But we know that they were. He said them white women wanted them the blacker the better.
Exactly.
The darker the man, that's what that white woman desired. And he said, you desire gambling, robbing, and killing each other for personal property of others. This is the work of the devil upon you. He said, you don't have to allow him to cause you to live such a life.
That's right.
Don't blame the cracker. Blame your foolish ass.
That's right.
Don't blame the cracker. Blame yourself for picking up that gun. and going to rob somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Blame your goddamn self for that pornography prescription that some of them niggas got.
Yeah.
Blame your goddamn self. Stop blaming these people who are not pushing you. We have to make conscious decisions.
That's right.
Conscious decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be unapologetic and unafraid.
That's right.
People know not to ask me nothing about how I live. Bitch, I will cuss you out. And if you touch me, oh my God. I love a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not celebrating such and such holiday? Because I'm not a goddamn fool. I'm not a slave.
That's right.
I'm free, and the Son has set me free, and I'm free indeed.
That's right.
And I don't mean the SON, I mean the SUN.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Teach.
That don't make you understand?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I celebrate life every day.
That's right.
It's no telling what I'm gonna. I have to go to the post office and give you your bookmarks. I haven't forgot about you.
Okay.
But I celebrate life. If I love you, I'm gonna surprise you any given goddamn day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you something that I made with my hands in love.
That's
I
right.
don't need nobody to put no goddamn holiday on a calendar for me to acknowledge. That's a part of this capitalistic system to keep us broke.
That's right.
And we think we gotta go to the mall and buy this for what? Watch this, Maurice. Watch this quickly.
Mm-hmm.
January, New Year's, right?
Right.
Party, celebration, liquor, drop the ball, go out, travel.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in February? Valentine's Day.
Right.
Buying cards, candy, flowers, hotels, liquor, wine, showing your love. What's March?
What is in March?
I don't know what's in March, but we know by April is what? Easter?
Easter. Yep.
Okay. And then you got, well, March, you have your spring break where people go on spring break and they're traveling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Spending all this money on hotels and travel and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Come May, June, what you got in June? Now they made it a Juneteenth. I don't think Juneteenth now is a federal holiday because Trump got rid of that. But nevertheless, niggas gonna still participate in Juneteenth. They're having concerts now. Do you know that?
They have a conference?
They're having concerts.
Oh, really? Oh,
They're
wow.
having, because Texas is already on their Juneteenth because that's a part of Texas history. But now Juneteenth is celebrated in Black communities all over the United States, and they're having concerts. Now, what the fuck me listening to Fantasia or Beyonce or Juvenile or whatever celebrity got to do with my freedom?
Exactly.
Nothing. It's just a money grab, right?
Yeah.
In July, so now you got more money in July with what? Independence Day. Then we going into August, September. We trickling it down to what? The winter holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yep.
You get your Mother's Day, your Father's Day, and all the other shit in between. That's like, this is ridiculous. So we can't blame them for tricking us. We have to blame ourselves for allowing us to be tricked.
Exactly.
And a lot of people feel bad. Oh, I gotta participate because so and so is participating. I tell a bitch, I ain't participating. Don't look for me for shit. Bitch, I ain't buying you nothing.
Exactly.
Don't look for it because you ain't getting it. And I dare you to say something. Because I don't work to spend my money because what a white person put on the goddamn calendar, like you thinking for me. I don't need you thinking for me.
Yeah.
To tell somebody I love them. You see?
Exactly.
So he said, it has always been the policy of the white man to use a black man against the black man, especially leaders. Look at history. See how he has deceived and killed off the black leaders of foreign lands, and then they took over themselves. This should be a lesson for you and me. We the Muslims have watched our people who have come among us as eyes and ears. To them stool pigeons for white folks. It's a lot of stool pigeons on my job. When I say they buck dancing for that goddamn white supervisor, they buck dancing for his ass. And that white man don't fuck with me. Whenever he see me, he roll his eyes and walk the other way. Because I'm not a buck dancer.
Right, exactly.
And every morning I wake up, my spirit is something inside of me, like I could feel it cooking. And so let me right quick. This morning when I woke up, I said, okay, spirit, I hear you. I know you trying to tell me something about my supervisor. And basically my spirit was saying, watch out for him because he's looking out to report back to individuals about us Black people. And he told me, he said, you the only one I've never heard anything bad about. He said, I've heard so many complaints about people on this job. He said, but I've heard nothing bad about you yet.
Oh, wow.
That crap, he's searching, he reaching.
Exactly. He sure is.
He reaching. So my spirit is like, be very careful. But he say, we the Muslims have watched our people who have come among us. We done sat there and watched the people come among us as eyes and ears for white folks. When they have become converted to the truth and join us, they confess that they are ashamed that they have worked against us for the sake of a few perishable dollars. Ain't that something?
That is. That is.
Confessing that they were stool pigeons. We watching you and we're listening to you so we can go report back to the lyncher, the robber, the thief, the bomber, the person that hates you with a passion and everything your Black ass stand for. He say, but we know that the white man is our enemy. That's and right. Wherever we are, he offers some silly so-called Negro a higher office and higher pay to work against us as Muslims, the righteous, or any so-called Negro. Whether he be a Baptist, Methodist, Holy Roller, or sanctified, some lazy so-called Negro will work against him for the white man. That's embarrassing.
Very.
And I see it on my job every day. I say, Lord, I see why we stayed on them plantations for so long. I see why we stayed so long. Because when it comes to these white people, we know how to dance a good jig. Yeah. Well, we know how to buck dance like never before. Like we got something to prove to these people who bombed our houses.
Exactly.
I have a neighbor. I met this lady. I went to a city hall meeting. She was in her 60s and she remembers, if I'm not mistaken, I think she was in her 60s or something like that. She remembers when the white people came to her father and mother's store and said, it's our shit now.
What?
They took that shit from Georgia. They walked into her mom and dad's store and said, this our shit now. And her mom and daddy took her mother, they got them children and got the fuck out of Georgia and fled.
Wow.
A lot of this shit that these white people got is stolen property.
Exactly.
Stolen legacy.
Yep. 1000%.
It's stolen. They sat and watched us build houses, farms, ponds with catfish, as far as the eye could see, and took it right from under us because they were poor, destitute, uneducated, lazy ass rattlesnakes. And that's what happens when we don't stick together.
That's right.
And
That's
we want to think that their ice is colder and their sugar is sweeter.
mm. My God.
Our children should be taught to despise these people.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
should be taught to, when they see them. Elijah Muhammad said, when you see a rattlesnake, you run.
Mm-hmm.
It's not safe to be in their presence.
That's right.
And like some people say, oh, well, there's some good ones. Yeah, but you got to watch them still.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a nature that's not like ours.
Mm-hmm.
And we have learned that nature.
That's right.
So we got to keep one eye open even on our own people.
That's right.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you know that there's a phenomenon? If there's a phenomenon, I don't know what to call it. Maybe you can help me give it a name. But there's a phenomenon that I've been seeing for the past, maybe like within the last 10 years, where men who are white and black are having sex with their daughters and killing them thereafter, immediately after.
What?
Oh yeah, that's big in the news.
Oh my God.
They brutally rape their daughters, some teenagers, and one black man, he brutally raped his 10-month-old daughter and bashed her ass in the head.
Oh, good Lord.
Where do we get this shit from?
All from the cracker.
That's not something that we you don't see that in ancient Kemet. Ancient Kemet was they had so much information, they still trying to decipher a lot of that stuff. They were very big on writing. You don't see no infanticide in Egypt. None of it. You don't see rape in Egypt. You don't see that. So whatever this phenomenon is where men are actually brutally raping their daughters and killing them, it's starting to be the norm now. Oh yeah. You haven't been seeing that in the news? Oh yeah. I see it a lot. And I don't know how a man can do that to his daughter. His flesh and blood.
Ain't no way.
Especially a black man.
Exactly.
So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, it's a shame in such modern times to see black politicians and preachers accepting positions to work against their own black people for a few dollars from a race whose time has come to an end. We are justified in taking it. If the white man gave us $1 billion or $100 billion, we deserve it. But we are not justified to sell our lives for such a gift in this day and time.
That's right.
Declare yourself a Muslim and see how much the devil will give you. He would say, we will give it to you if you preach that we are not the devil. We would answer, that is just the same as saying, if you do not teach the truth of me so that I can continue to deceive the world of your kind, I will help you. Remember what the Bible teaches us that Satan said to Jesus. All these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. That's in Matthew chapter 4, verse 9. And he showed him the kingdoms of the world. Perhaps you will be offered the world to the wicked pretty soon. If so, the Bible says, what profit a man if he gains the world and lose his own life? This is a warning to the preachers. Eddie Long. Look at T.D. Jakes' ass done gave up his seat in the church and passed it on over to his daughter when all that nasty shit was coming out.
Yep.
The little money with its dying value, it's not going to help you against God's aims and purpose of the resurrection of the dead, lost, found members of the Aboriginal nation. Let me say that again. The little money with its dying value will not help you against God's aims and purpose of the resurrection of the dead, lost, found members of the Aboriginal nation. You will lose your lives for so doing, and you should. for you cause innocent ones who are blind, deaf, and dumb to go to hell with yourself and the
Mm.
enemy. Allah came forth in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever, the Son of Man, as it is written, seeking to save that which was lost and to restore again that which has gone astray. I have a question.
Mhm.
How come we don't hear Minister Louis Farrakhan saying the white man is the devil?
I still hear him saying it, or you may hear him say the white man is Satan, because Honorable Elijah Muhammad told him to stop using devil and to use either Satan, the enemy, or the slave master's children.
Okay.
That's
So he's just being obedient.
exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So he said to me that he would eat rattlesnakes to save our lives, and that he would walk 40 miles up a mountain to teach just one in order to save his life in exchange for our safety and return to our own. I have taken him for my God and my Savior. I advise you to do the same, regardless of the offers of money, which is fast becoming worthless. Jesus refused the money and dwelt upon the truth that is written, that we must not worship Satan. Satan's place is behind us and not in front of us. And he says, it is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible, it is written that you would accept the enemy and go down in a lake of fire with him.
Mm.
Read the following passages of your Bible, which dwells on the time and yourselves. I'm not going to read all of that, but it says, and yeah, that is 14.
You know, oh, go ahead. What you
No, go ahead. I'm done. I'm not going to read all those. You want me to read the scriptures that he mentioned just in case somebody may want to hear it, or because that's a lot?
Yeah, that's a lot. I think that's fine. That they'll be able, because they can see and
Mhm.
write it down and go read them themselves. But I wanted to look at 38, where it says that it is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible, in Revelation, it is written that you would accept the enemy and go down in a lake of fire with him. And that reminds me of Jim Jones. Jim motherfucking Jones. Now, this cracker, I think it was in 1978, somewhere in the 70s, I think 78, but somewhere there. This nigga said he was God. Now, he was present, he was living, he was walking the earth when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was walking. He knew the messenger would have never allowed him into the temple, would have never allowed him in the mosque. When the messenger's son, Wallace, took over, he brung the cracker into the mosque. He let the cracker teach in the mosque. He brung the American flag, brung it into the mosque, took down our flag, and put the American flag up there. Now, and this shit is on record. You can go find it on YouTube. You'll see it. You search the internet, you'll see the pictures and everything. He did a speech one day. Jim Jones did a speech in the People's Temple. And he said Elijah Muhammad would have never allowed me in the mosque. He would have never allowed me to teach. He'd have never put me in this paper like Wallace did. And he said that old Farrakhan, he left Wallace to go out there and be on his own because he wanted to follow and be true to what Elijah Muhammad said. This is Jim Jones. He telling you straight to your face. Now, he took these people over to Guyana.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people that he took were black. 68% of them were black. They even break it down and tell you what state they came from, how many from this state, how many from this state. 45% were black women, 23% were black men, 13% was white women, 10% was white men. Here you go as a black man, as a black woman, sitting in the mosque bearing witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the messenger of God. Then here come this no good nigga, Wallace, to come up in the daddy seat and say, my daddy was wrong. He wasn't no messenger of God. He was wrong. And bring this cracker, this no good, dirty cracker, into the house and confuse people. Wallace did the confusing, and now this cracker say, I'm God, and you gonna follow me. And they just float on with him and go to Guyana, and now they dead because they was drinking the juice. They were drinking the juice, and now they dead. That just fulfilled verse 38 that we just talked about. It is the nature of Satan. There he is right there. The nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven. Here our people were with the messenger in heaven. And Satan come to fool and trick the people. And next thing you know, you accept the enemy's way and you go down in the lake of fire with him. You better understand it. You better understand it. This is history. Look at here. Look at here. Dead. Our sister dead and gone. Following that no good dirty beast. Look at that cracker with his smile.
And that fur for he got hair that's fur.
Exactly. Trying to tell you I'm your friend. I'm your best friend. I love you. Look at you.
Maurice, well, how you spell Guyana? Because it's two different Guyanas. Is that the G-U?
Yeah,
okay. G-U-Y-A-N-A, Guyana?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have pictures of the dead bodies, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
They got pictures of them dead. Hold on. My ex-fiance and his grandmother, because his grandmother raised him, she was going to take him to Guyana.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And something happened at the last minute that she changed her mind.
Mm.
But my actual ex-fiance and his grandmother, they were on their way to Guyana under his leadership, and they would have been dead.
They sure would have. They sure would have.
Look at these black women.
Mm-hmm.
Black women so gullible.
Mm-hmm.
Black women believe more in the church and Jesus than they do the black man.
Exactly. Exactly.
They believe more in this foolishness.
Mm.
And they be so quick to give money
and
introduce. And look at the baby in the back.
Yep.
That's one of the first things that black women do, introduce their children to the church and get them baptized and shove a Bible down their damn throat before they can even just have time to breathe and look around earth and as a new human being. They're shoving Bible stories down their throat. Look at these black women.
Exactly. Exactly. Following that cracker straight to their death. Straight to their death. Babies too, straight to their death. That cracker ain't never been your God.
Let me see if they got some pictures of these dead bodies. Because you know those pictures used to be online back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing those dead bodies everywhere. I think this may be one right here, Maurice, right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very clear, but oh, they drank that Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Why do you think he did that? Yeah,
because
they don't want to show it.
because the Congress was investigating his ass for some other crimes, so they would have came out and arrested his ass. But you know, it's the same mentality. The hell, y'all, shit, y'all. I ain't going out here. If I gotta go, all y'all motherfuckers going with me. And they took him. He took them all out with him. Killed
So
the senator and everybody. Took them
what
all.
did he put? What did he put in the Kool-Aid?
Something to kill him. Some poison in there to kill him.
He
Right.
deliberately put it in the Kool-Aid, knowing that they was
Yeah.
gonna drink it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And killed they just sat. Did they know or did okay? So let me ask you a question: did they know or did they not know?
The leadership knew. The leadership knew. Now he's because you got it, all this shit is on record, and you can hear him telling them, "Drink the Kool-Aid. Don't stop crying. Don't worry about it." Just so they knew what was coming up now, because he's on the mic telling them, "Stop crying. Don't. It's gonna be all right. Everything gonna be. Just go ahead and drink it. Just go ahead and drink it." You hear it. You hear it. That thought. I'm going down. I'm going to take you all down with me. And that's what he did.
It was called a Jonestown Massacre.
That's right. That's right. Yep. And it's all, look, you can see the video, you can listen to it with him teaching in the mosque, with him teaching in his own people's temple. You can hear him even teaching there in Guyana. You hear it all. You hear it all. So you don't go astray. You listen. You understand. Because this happened right in front of your face. Real time, right here. You looking at it. You looking at it.
Hold on, Muhammad. Hold on for a second. The site of notorious. This is from type of some online magazine called Metro, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says you can't even see. Oh, hold on. Hold the hell up. Let me go back over here where you are. Let me go back where you are. Okay. The site of notorious murder-suicide that left more than 900 dead set to become a tourist attraction.
Wow, a tourist attraction.
Now, did I not say at the beginning of this study that the rattlesnakes love to take byproducts and profit from it?
That's right.
Did I not say that?
You said it. You said it.
And this was published in December 10, 2024. In recent years, dark tourism, the practice of visiting places associated with death and tragedy, has taken off. Though not official tourist destinations, many flock to places like Chernobyl and the killing fields in Cambodia. Now, one such location is planning on turning the site where over 900 people died into a tourist attraction. The Jamestown Massacre in November 1978 became one of the most infamous instances of mass suicide. Cult leader Jim Jones forced his followers at the compound in Guyana to drink cyanide and Kool-Aid, or if they resisted, they were injected with syringes. A total of 918 people died in the Jamestown Massacre. A third of them were children, most American. A tour company now wants to allow visitors to visit what's left of the compound deep in the Guyanese jungle. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to copy this image. I'm going to put it here so I can see if I can show it to you a little bit clearer. Okay, now just bear with me because, you know, this takes some time. And let me show you this. Right here. This is what I want to show you. Let's see, can you see that? Look at them dead bodies.
Wow.
If you didn't drink it, they put it in a syringe. Dead bodies, mass suicide. Elijah Muhammad said it. Could you read that verse again? What Elijah Muhammad said?
It is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible, Revelations, it is written that you would accept the enemy and go down in a lake of fire with him.
This is what a lake of fire looks like. There's no mythological lake of fire. This is what a lake of fire looks like. This is an extreme case.
That's right.
A lake of fire could also be bad credit. Because you done fucked up your credit cards trying to buy for every goddamn holiday the white man has put on the calendar. But this is what a lake of fire looks like, following behind these people that's selling us religion. They don't give a fuck about religion. What they give a fuck about is prestige, politics, and money and control. I wouldn't be surprised if this man went home and had sex with another man or a child.
Oh, most definitely.
You know he wasn't having sex with no damn woman because they don't desire women like that. Most white women know that their husband is homosexual. They know that. And they're okay with it. A lot of them are okay with it. Over 900 people, and they want to turn it into a tourist attraction. Just dead bodies stenching everywhere.
My God. And 918, and a third of them were children. That's 306 children. Dead. Black children.
Never had a chance to live. Do you see the man at the bottom of the screen just sitting there looking looking at all them dead bodies?
Yep.
And you know, a lot of pastors, they know that their parishioners are in turmoil.
Exactly.
They hear the stories, they hear the complaints. They know that people are struggling and suffering, and they'll still ask you to give an offering and a motherfucking donation. They don't give a damn about our struggle.
No.
And a lot of pastors, especially those pastors who have been to seminary school, they know the truth. But they don't. We just talked about that. They would never preach it and teach it because they'll lose their job. Being a pastor is a fucking job. Just like we get up and go to work, they get up and go to work to preach and teach a lie. A Helios, from out of the Helios Biblos. Have you ever heard of that phrase, that Greco-Roman term Helios Biblos? You have not?
No, I haven't.
Look it up and you tell me what the fuck it means. Please do it right now. Helios Biblos, and you tell me what it means.
Okay.
In English, we call it Holy Bible, but the origins of Holy Bible is Helios Biblos. Please tell your audience, our audience, what Helios Biblos is.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so it's saying Helios Biblios is not a recognized greeting or phrase. It may be a misspelling or a new term. If you're interested in learning more about Bible-related resources, you might be interested in Helio Bible, a monthly Christian scripture.
Nah, go deeper than nah. They fucking with you. Go somewhere else.
Okay.
Don't let them people play with your intelligence.
Okay.
What is Helios Biblos in the Greco-Roman sense of the term? What is Helios and what is Biblos? Helious.
Let me take this over to Google because Bing ain't answering me.
Yeah, go to Google. Helios Biblos. This is what every Christian needs to know. In English, we say, because a lot of English is a bastard language, and a lot of our English comes from, Greco-Roman culture. So when the Greco-Romans used the word Helios Biblos, what were they talking about? Today we say in English, Holy Bible. Every Christian should know this. And that's a shame that a lot of Christians don't even know the origins of what they claim to believe.
So this is saying Helios, it is the Greek word for sun.
It's a Greek word for what?
For sun.
Spell it. Spell sun.
S-U-N.
Did you just say S-U-N?
Yep.
Okay, and what's Biblos?
Yeah, let me look up Biblios.
You just said Helios is the Greek word for sun.
Yeah.
All right. And what's Biblos?
The Biblica says name Greek Bible is Keon Greek. It is a common language for the Mediterranean world, the first century.
You're doing the most. I just want to know what Biblos is in English. Gato is cat in Spanish. Puerta is door. Lápiz is pencil. So what the hell is Biblos? We know that Helios is sun, but what is Biblos?
It says this word refers to the inner bark or rind of a papyrus plant.
Papyrus, but you're doing a little bit more. What is Biblos? It's a book. What were they doing with papyrus? Writing books. Helios, Biblos, Helios, sun, Biblos, book. Sun, book. S-U-N, Holy Bible. It's a book of the goddamn sun. The S-U-N, not no damn S-O-N. You see how technology now, the information. I feel sorry for people now who are trying to elevate themselves. I feel really sorry for people who are trying to consciously elevate their intellect and come out of Christianity, because it's going to be real hard. I am the last of the Mohicans that was able to get down and dirty and get in the mud and find out what the fuck I needed to learn to break free from the shackles of Christianity. Because the more we go into this, whatever the madness that we're in, a lot of the information is not available online. When I started learning, Helios Biblos was right there in your face. Sun book, S-U-N. So when people say Holy Bible, people don't realize that English is a bastard language and we're speaking an entire different language. You got to go to the origins of words, the origins of religion. It's a book about the sun, the S-U-N. And these people have personified cosmology, deities, and made it into what they wanted to be, to fool the masses of people, to get your attention, to play on your heartstrings, to get your money, to get your allegiance, to make you bow down. Like Marie said tonight, to kiss the ring of the Pope when you really need to be pulling up his goddamn skirt. and not being afraid of going to no lake of fire, because no such place exists, only in your mind. And this is what you get: dead bodies, dead women, dead men, dead children, following a false God, a false religion. Because people are too afraid, too deaf, too dumb, too blind to do research, to study the origins of what they say they believe. People don't understand that you can go and you can do self-investigation and study the origins of every goddamn religion under the sun. And find out where this shit come from, because the personification of Jesus came out of the Council of Nicaea and other councils, and they personified the Son, and anyone who did not believe was fed to lions. They were brutally murdered to bring this religion into a place where people actually believe that it is literal. And I don't have the patience anymore to give a fuck about people who don't like me or hate me or don't want to listen to me or be my friend because of this bullshit. I'm sick of it, because the information is there if people are willing to learn. And they want to hold on to this dumb shit and talk about you got to bow and confess that Jesus is Lord. You ain't never seen no goddamn Jesus. Jesus ain't coming to his own fucking rescue. What make you think he coming to yours? And quiet as it's kept, the Bible says that when Jesus returned, he coming with a legion of fucking angels. You think I give a damn about them legion of angels if he did not come and save our brothers and sisters that was hanging from these goddamn trees? Babies' heads that was bashed against rocks and stones. People's homes being bombed, churches being bombed, schools being bombed, our brothers being brutally murdered at the hands of these white supremacists. But you want me to sit here and wait for a Jesus to come with a fucking legion of white goddamn angels? You think people think I'm that fucking dumb? We got to be war ready.
That's right. That's right.
War ready. I can't do it. I can't. This 900 people dead, and they want to make money off of it. And you know, white people will go there. They'll sit and have lunch.
Oh yeah.
Write graffiti all over the goddamn walls. Go have sex in the bathroom. Turn it into a goddamn world destination where they go have sex with children.
That's right.
Just dumb shit. Everybody want to benefit off of our ignorance.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wouldn't follow Elijah, but they follow this cracker to Guyana. They followed this cracker all the way to Guyana and lost their lives. And we just read, if they did not drink the Kool-Aid, they'll shove it up your ass with a syringe.
Yeah.
You know, they love syringes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They always got a goddamn concoction in a syringe. And if you don't want to take it, bitch, we gonna give it to you anyway.
Exactly.
You lose your job. If you don't take this syringe, you're gonna lose your job. And people took that shit and died. Let me tell you something. My friend girl, she can't have no more children, and she in her 30s. When she took that syringe, and you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
All her eggs dried up.
Oh my God.
She have no more eggs in her ovaries. They all dried up from this most recent syringe situation. Literally, her eggs dried up. And my friend girl watched her father die. She said, Daddy, I had a dream that you died. He was like, nah, baby, I'm okay. Baby, I'm gonna be okay. And the next week or so, he was foaming at the mouth on the damn sidewalk, dead because he got the goddamn booster.
Oh my God. Wow.
They don't want to listen to the messenger. They don't want to listen to the minister. They don't want to listen to people like you or me.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll let these white people come out of nowhere and follow them to distant places and drink the goddamn Kool-Aid and fall over dead. I don't feel sorry for nobody. They could cry me a river. I don't feel sorry for these people. Did we finish our goal, or we got one more chapter?
No, I think we were done. Let me go back and see.
I don't feel sorry for them, Mari. I don't. Well, what were we doing? 13, 14, and 15?
Yeah.
Okay, this is just one page. You had something to say before I read chapter 15?
You can go ahead.
All right, so America. The American white people are more concerned about mistreating the black once slave of America than America is concerned with any nation on earth that is attacking her outlying posts. Her enemies are intensifying their attacks on her. America is right out of the frying pan into the fire all over the earth due to her evil intentions against her loyal black once slaves. Her talk of evil doing against the black once slave in America is worse than it is against independent nations that are trying to attack and destroy her country. White America has more hatred for the black once slaves in her midst who are faithfully fighting on the firing line to help her against her enemy than she is against the enemy they are shooting down. White America talks of building concentration camps or prison houses for the black once slave, which is the black man in America. I am told that America already has concentration camps built for this purpose. Concentration camps are jail houses, prison houses. This is why I cry day and night to my black brothers to seek refuge in Allah in such a time as this. The Muslims do not have to worry about any such imprisonment, for the Muslim is already a citizen of the Nation of Islam, and we have our own people to deliver us by the order of God. This is why it is so necessary that the black man in America accept Allah and his name and get out of the name of the white enemy slave master who does not seek to bring peace for us, but the enemy seeks to bring our death. White America wants her black once slave to suffer that which is not due to the black once slave. The black once slave has not sinned, nor has the black once slave attacked other nations except under the order of his white slave master.
And that is so true. We have went everywhere this cracker has said for us to go. And we have killed everybody this cracker has said for us to kill. And we still don't have what we should have. We're still walking these streets, crying and lying, saying no peace, no justice, no peace. And there's so much peace. And we still ain't got shit. We need to really wake up and understand we've given everything to this enemy. We gave everything. And this enemy haven't given us a damn thing. Haven't given us nothing. And we need to really understand that. You got your children over there now ready to go and die. Die for a country that won't even say, hey, let's treat them right. Let's do right by them. No. They double down to do even more wrong and more hurt for you. Because they don't love you. They don't like you. You're a usable tool for their service. And you better wake up and understand it. You better wake up and understand it. Because that's the reality. And you want to go fight for them? Shit. You bet not. You bet not, because that will be your end. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, in this last war, American soldiers gonna go away in the tens of thousands, return in the tens, return in the tens. You will lose this battle. You will go over there to Europe, and that will be your graveyard. You better stay out of there. You better stay out of there. And I just got this one video real quickly that I want to play so that you understand exactly what's what. Because this is the reality. This is why you still in the situation that you're in. And you think because this cracker take a video from the minister and make a short out of it, and black people look at him like, "Oh, you down? You like this? Man, fuck that cracker. The fuck? He ain't your friend. He's trying to lure you in. He ain't your friend." But listen to the minister.
Black men died in North Africa fighting the Germans. Black men died at Anzio Beach, at Palermo, at Naples, to free Rome, to free Paris, to free Europe. Damn it! We died to build America. And America has rebuilt Germany and Japan, and the nigger is still suffering and dying in the streets of America. Black men died.
The truth has come to you. I rest.
Yeah, me too. This a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm. It really is. It really is. You know,
Mhm.
just to see the picture with all them dead bodies, and the majority of them were our people because they followed the cracker. That cracker is never your God. Never. Never. Their whole motive operandi is to kill you, is to use you. That's what they want. That's what they love to do. Wake up and reject them. Accept your own and be yourself. Accept your own and be yourself. Those are the greatest 6 words that you can do.
Maurice,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Emil is still here. He say, but do you still have the picture he sent you dressed as Abraham Lincoln during Halloween? He say, if you have it, can you share it on the live to show us how we have all been fed lies? Ain't no telling. You get a lot of emails. He say, and he Asian dressed like damn Abraham Lincoln. I know that damn picture funny as hell.
Yeah,
he said that,
I would have to if he sent the actual picture or colored a picture or drew a picture. Did he clarify what type of picture?
Emma, if you are still in the live, please send Maurice that picture while we go down the live right quick. And then if you send it right quick, we'll show it. And then he says, but there are accounts of Native Americans owning black slaves. I've heard that too. And I heard they were exceptionally brutal. They were dismembering our bodies, following the fashion of their of white Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Sandra D, thank you so much. 100% sister at Digger. My gosh, she say much love. Same to you, sis. And then Earthman say peace and blessings, Brother Muhammad. Sandra D said Hyde Park, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House Museum, also known as Saja House. How do you say that?
Yes, Saja House.
Saja House being beautifully restored by Sister Saja Wendy Muhammad. Get a copper coin on your name on a plaque in their home. Definitely, I'm gonna look into that. She's restoring the home. Definitely, I want to be a part of that. And then Sandra D says she went to Savior's Day. It was a great experience. Emma says, am I talking about Philip Scott? I don't know if he's talking about Philip Scott.
Philip Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's who I'm talking about. That's that black rattlesnake. Yes. And what else? It's a and let me see anything else. And that's about it. Also from the Emerald Tablets of Thoth 2 and the Ancient Kemet Book of Beginnings. Yes. I know about Thoth. That prophecy that Thoth gave is deep. Oh, that's deep. I have that in my library. And Emil says he was never a Christian. He said, I was never ever into Christianity long before I even became into the truth. In 2017, he said, my senses never fucked with that religion. And Brother Roy tapped in tonight. Thank you so much. He said, peace and blessings, family. So,
right, Brother Roy.
yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, he would have to resend me the picture because I don't.
Yeah, I bet it's funny. So, I mean, it was, it's always a pleasure to be here. And sometimes I wonder like what people think of me, but I'm not going to say that I don't care because, at the end of the day, I do care about people and I don't want to be insensitive or hurt people's feelings. But I did not come out of Christianity without my feelings being hurt. I was devastated, and as long as I'm speaking the truth, at this point, it doesn't matter because people got to realize we are at war. And we can't shake the lies and the deceit being a holy roller. You got to dare to get ugly sometimes.
Right.
You got to get ugly sometimes. And I take it there. And I don't apologize for that. Because what it has given me is freedom. And this freedom can't nobody take this away from me. And Maurice, I do believe that the spirit of Elijah Muhammad is alive. And when I say he comes to me and give me information and send videos my way and ask me questions, this is a phenomenal experience. And I believe that we are making him proud. I don't even think he bothered by the profanity at this point. When you look at the condition of this country, it is what it is. And if people not willing to get down in the dirt with me under all circumstances, then this is just not the show for you. Go somewhere else where they keep it nice and clean. This ain't it. We warriors over here.
Exactly.
And I leave it at that.
Exactly. I didn't. Are you saying that 17 people were killed in Atlanta? T, is that what you're saying? I haven't heard nothing about it. Maya, you heard anything about what?
No, but with this Carmelo Anthony situation, a lot of black people are gonna die. It happened after the brawl in Alabama, and a lot of people did not even talk about it. But I told people, don't be celebrating this shit because a lot of our people gonna die. These crackers gonna retaliate, and they're gonna be killing us. That don't sit pretty for that black boy to kill one of their own.
No, they're gonna be looking for vengeance.
What? They gonna get a lot of us on this one. Oh, they mad. A lot of our babies gonna die on this one. A lot of our women gonna die on this one. Oh yes.
They better go ahead and prepare to fight with every damn thing that you got. And these crackers come to take a life, God damn it. They better be ready to have their lives taken. Don't you go up there and just give these motherfuckers your life. You fight them with every goddamn thing you got. Every damn thing you got in the fiber of your body. You better pay attention. You better be aware. You better understand your surroundings. Because this is war. This is war.
Our people not watching their surroundings. They just feel like they have to always be somewhere. Always got to be somewhere, go somewhere, do something. They're not watching. They don't think that we have an enemy. They don't think that we have an enemy that's watching our every move. That's gonna snatch you just because you black to get back at this incident that just occurred. There will be bloodshed, lots of it.
So he's saying that they use the Indeed website to lure people and then to kill them?
Probably so. Ain't nothing beneath these people. I was just telling my family member the other day, they bought a tent from Facebook Marketplace for $15. The tent costs $100. And they bought it for $15. And this person does not listen to me. They always think that I'm the enemy. And they told me, oh, I got the tent and I went on Facebook Marketplace and I got it for $15. And I said to myself, how the fuck do you know that them people wasn't trying to lure you over there for the low to kill you or rape you or put you in a goddamn sex trade? I'd rather go spend $100 on Amazon and get my shit on my doorstep than go somewhere and spend $15 and end up missing. Because I know how these people think. Maurice, I was almost kidnapped off my front porch when I used to live in Atlanta.
What?
I was sitting on my front porch. When I used to live in Atlanta, they had a lot of black women that were disappearing and they were ending up in the sex trade. And sometimes you would see them women on the side of the road dead in a ditch because Atlanta have a lot of ditches. You know, it's hilly up there. And I was sitting on my front porch one day. And it was a rough day for me. I was in a relationship. It wasn't working. And I'm sitting on my porch. My daughter was inside. And this van pulled up right in front of my doorstep. 2 black men got out. One on the passenger side, one on the driver's side. They jumped out to grab me. I didn't know that the guy I was dating at that time was pulling up. When he pulled up with the yik yak, they ran the fuck off. And he just came and he hugged me. He was like, do you know what was about to happen to you? They was finna take you. They was gonna take you. And at that moment, I realized I'm headed home. I said, I'm going home because Atlanta was a very, very dangerous place. So I would not put it past them to lure people because that's what they do. You got little girls that work with some of these sex traffickers and they be like, oh, come spend the night. Let's have a slumber party. They had one little girl. She befriended this white girl. And she said, you know, we're going to have a little slumber party, pajama party, whatever. Her mother let her go. And the people were there waiting for the little girl. And they took her, put her into the sex trade. Her mother could not find her. She's distraught. Police can't find her. As fate would have it, her mother was at the gas station one day pumping gas. And the sex traffickers had her daughter in the backseat, all fucked up, high, full of disease. Her mother said she had so many diseases, it was a mess. She's pumping gas and see her daughter in the backseat. So she jumps into action and I forgot what she said she did, but she was able to rescue her daughter from the back seat of the sex traffickers. She got her daughter back, took her straight to the hospital. She was full of disease and drugs.
Oh my God.
And this was a little white girl. So you can't even let your children go spend the night at nobody's house. They can't be talking about, oh, that's my friend, and can I go here? Can I go there? They lure you on Facebook Marketplace and what's that other site? Craigslist is very dangerous as well. Oh yeah, somebody almost took me from a nightclub one night when on my nightclub days. I mean, I could write a book the shit that done happened to me.
Oh, wow.
Yep, he almost, and I was dumb. I walked to the car with him, and I didn't know this man from Adam House Cat, and we went for a walk after the club. He was like, "Get in the car," and when he said, "Get in the car," I was like, "Oh shit!" I took off running.
I know that's right.
I was always a track star. That motherfucker couldn't catch me. That bitch couldn't catch me. I ran like I was Usain Bolt and Flojo. And he didn't catch me, but it's quite a few times I've been in a situation like that. Well, you know, you got to be careful. So I believe it.
Oh my
You
God.
either going to your death or you going into some type of sex trafficking with what they're doing now. It don't take much to get people now. You go on a date, they'll never see you again.
Exactly.
You get your ass in the Uber, they'll never see your ass again. Remember that black girl who got in that Uber and that
Yes.
goddamn illegal immigrant said, I want to have sex with you. And she said no, and he shot her ass and left her on the side of the road.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, sure do. Exactly. I remember that. I remember that.
Emma, what question are you talking about? He said, if you can answer this question, I really appreciate it because I'm still looking for guidance. What question are you talking about before we close out? What question are you talking about? Oh! I love me some Emma. I don't care what nobody say. I'll fight you. I'll fight somebody over Emma. I'll fight over Emma. He says, should I continue praying to God or should I instead start praying to ancient Kemet deities? Because whenever I pray to God, I continue to feel things getting worse and him turning his back. If you feel worse and you feel, then why would you continue doing something that it's not going to benefit you or you're not getting anything out of it? I think you answered your own question. Emmett, spirituality is personal, like your underwear and what you do in your fucking bedroom. I don't necessarily pray. I just meditate. Just meditate. Use your divine consciousness. Use the power of your mind. Can't nobody tell you what to do or what to believe or who to pray to or how to meditate. Do what you feel is right for you. Your relationship with God is personal. Can't nobody tell you what to do. Do what you feel is comfortable and right for you. I don't let nobody tell me how to pray, how to meditate, what to believe. It's on me. I'm free. Because anytime anybody tells you like how to worship, how to pray, songs and sing and stuff like that, that shit is religion. I don't do religion. I don't. You do what you feel is best for you. And even if you're meditating or praying to the Kemetic deities, you're talking about nature, the nectars. You're talking about the wind. You're talking about the sun, the moon, the stars, the trees. Like we're talking about nature. We are a people that come from nature. We venerate nature. So just do what feels comfortable for you. Because anything anybody else tells you to do, that's man-made religion. And it's going to always lead you down a path of destruction. That's it. When spirit want to talk to you, if spirit want to talk to you, they'll come. Because they don't never shut their mouth concerning me. I'll be like, damn, they be telling me people business and shit. I'll be like, damn. Some of the shit my spirits be telling me, I'll be like, damn, I don't be want to know all of that. Just open yourself up. Just open yourself up and whatever happened, happened. So I hope that answers your question. Fruits and candles, yeah, if you want to. Get an altar, that's fine. You can, yes. Water, fire, incense, pictures, coffee, food, fruit, beads, toys, cigars, liquor, coffee, whatever. They'll tell you what they want. Just give. Just give from your heart. There's no one way to do what you need and want to do. Start something new and let it be personal to you. And if they want something, they'll ask for it. Trust me, they will. They'll ask you for what they want. And when the spirits ask you for something, do it. And you will be blessed tremendously. Okay?
All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And again, we thank everybody for joining us and staying 3 hours with us. This was a very good program today. I think a lot of good information was passed out. A lot of eyes were, open and souls reinforced with what is right and what needs to happen. We show you this stuff in real time. And, we thank all y'all for continuing to come out. And don't forget, we'll be back again on next Tuesday. And we're on next Tuesday. We got chapter, is it just 16 and 17?
I don't even know at this point. I can't think for tomorrow. It's just always a time. This is the most ghetto book study I've ever done. This some ghetto shit, but I love it. I be like, when we finish, I'm gonna watch this shit about 4 times. I swear to God, I'm gonna watch this video about 4 or 5 times, and then when I wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna wish that tomorrow was Tuesday. It like Tuesday can't come fast enough. I love this study. I'm infatuated. I'm in love.
Exactly.
I don't know what my life would be like without it. I'm made better. I need to get this out because you can't talk this kind of talk to anybody.
Right. Exactly.
But this has to come out, and it's gonna get out to who it got to get out to. So, I love it, and I look forward to doing this for the rest of my life. And it's an amazing experience, and I don't apologize for nothing because, like I said, we at war.
Exactly.
We at war. Okay.
Yes. Perfect. All right, y'all. Well, y'all heard it from the queen herself. And we love y'all, and we appreciate y'all for continuing to coming out and take part in the program. So we will see y'all again. And as we always say, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black First, today, tomorrow, and forever. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom.
So you better get the message and get it straight. You're gonna need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.